Yo, welcome to the Who Hurt You Bro podcast. My name is Mel.
It's Jay.
And we got two special guests here. Introduce yourself.
Justina. Gimmick.
And I'm Ashley.
And it's the special Valentine's Day edition episode. So normally how we started off is like, name of the podcast is Who Hurt You Bro, right? So you got anything you want to get off your chest? Anything that hurt you this week, this month, whatever? We're good. You're having a good week.
I'm having a good week.
Having a good week? You having a good week too?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a great week.
Also, nobody hurt this episode. You hurt, bro?
Well, yeah, mine's is light though. Mine's is light.
All right, so
it's nothing
let's go.
crazy. It's light.
Let's get it out the way.
Well, fuck airports and fuck airlines, right? So what happened was, right, I was flying back. So I had already did my bag. You know what I'm saying? I had my, my carry-on. Everything was Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I thought everything was good. I had an extra bag because they say, you could take one personal and then one carry-on, and then you have to do the other bag. Shorty really came out with a tape measure to tape measure my bag, bro.
What?
And I'm like looking at her like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
She
Like,
went
I came here
hard,
on purpose with the bare minimum time left for me to get on this fucking plane.
So you just
And you
jump
got
on.
a tape. Shorty had a tape measure. She didn't like have it like in her pocket.
Like,
she went to
it's
the
like-
back to go get it to come tape measure my shit.
So it's like certain sizes.
Yeah, so like they usually have like a little canister. You put the bag in and it says if it fits.
Yeah.
So mine fit because it was crunching up.
But it was tall.
Popped it so that it was full size, and then she had a quota to me. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
what
she
the fuck
bothered
is
you.
you doing? She was like, that's 45. I was like, take my fucking card.
She charged
Yo.
you 45?
Yeah,
God
the
damn.
first one's 35, second one's 45, and the one after that 70. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, any good Puerto Rican, I procrastinate to the last minute, right? So I'm borderline late to the flight. I can't argue.
Yeah.
I don't have the ability to. So I'm
miss-
like,
you gonna
fuck,
miss your
I
flight.
gotta eat the 45.
I was going to
Yeah,
ask
she
that
got
because that's
you.
the only time they do that really, when the flight is packed.
Yeah.
And then you're like the last few people.
There was like 3 rows empty on this bitch.
For real?
So she was just being a dick.
She 100%. Like someone fucked her day up in the morning because my flight was at 5:45 in the morning. So I was
Oh, yeah,
at
she
the
ain't wanna be
airport.
there. She ain't wanna be
I was
there.
at the airport at 4:10. And I was on that line. That line was thick as fuck. So I had to wait for that line. So by the time I get there, you got 45 minutes before the plane starts to board for you to have your bags so they go on the conveyor and go on their way. So like me being on that line took up the time. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, United. You know what I mean? Like, I said it.
That was
You know
the
what's
first-
so
that was the
crazy?
first
I
move.
did not want to ask what
I said
airline
it.
because I didn't want to put an airline on blast, but I was
said
like,
it.
this is sounding like United. It
gonna
sounds like United. It sounds like United. And I was like, because
For real.
remember we were
That's
watching
the
the
same thing that
and
happened to
that
us.
happened to us.
She
Yo.
literally came and took our bag back and brought it to the thing that measures the bag. And mine was just a little over.
She made you
No,
pay.
yours was
Solid.
good, babe. It was my bag.
For real?
Yes, the new bag that I got, the pink marble situation.
No, I think they took both of our bags. Remember, mine had a little like fat in the front, and she was like, "We can't fit it."
How much they made you pay though?
It's 45.
45.
I'm not joking when I say that. That's 45.
No, that's
The crazy
Damn,
shit.
bro.
And they don't make you go all the way back. They charge your card right
there.
at the
Oh, right
shit.
then and there.
But the thing is, I have the United app. So they had my card on file. So they was ready. They were like, we don't need your card. I was like, yo, this bitch really just violated me for 45. Because I didn't even get, we all do this, right? Like back in the day when there was a phone, when you banged on somebody, you had the motion, like bang, right? So I was like, threw my card on that bitch, aggressive as fuck. I'll just charge it.
No.
Like, yo. Yeah, so I got greased for $45. I'm over it now. But in the moment, I was steaming on that flight,
you
boy.
was hurt. I know
I
you
was
was hurt.
steaming on that flight. Hurt, understatement. I was steaming on that flight. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I got home safe. That's all that mattered. It was cold as fuck.
Where'd you come from?
Virginia. But she was wild, son. That shit had me hot, boy. When I tell you that shit had me hot, oh my God. And I'm just like looking at her and I'm like, ooh, if this was JFK or LaGuardia or Newark, we would have went outside and shot the face.
All right, so let's get into it. Like, my first question is like, how big of a fan are y'all of Valentine's Day? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, like how important is it to y'all? You can start with Jay. Guys, start with you.
You want to start with me?
Start with you, bro.
I mean, it's the...
How important is it to you?
Wonderful time of the year.
Oh, y'all love Valentine's Day.
Nah, but he said it's
Yeah,
Christmas
it
song.
reminded me of that.
I'm still hot off the bag, right? So what it is I think it all depends on the person.
I'm asking you.
No, but I'm saying like it depends on who I'm with or who I'm celebrating with.
Right.
what I'm saying? If it's just me, I don't give a fuck about Valentine's Day, right? But if I have someone special and they're actually special, then at that point it changes the dynamic because now I'm more worried about what that person's having. If they're enjoying the day, because if they're enjoying the day, I'm enjoying the day because I know that I'm the reason for it.
So
You know what I'm saying?
more for them than for you?
Depends, because sometimes someone could do something for you. Like it's happened sporadically, once in a blue moon, where something was done for me, and again, I was happy because they were happy. That's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying, like when in days like this, it's it's about giving, but it's not always about gifts. It's acts of kindness and and being loving. It's just those little things. You know what I'm saying? I'm real big on little things. I don't need huge shit. I don't need huge displays. It could be something fucking tiny, and that'll mean the world to me.
That's cool. What about y'all? How important is it?
I agree with you. It depends on who you're with. So like now that like me and Jess been rocking and like our relationship has been so beautiful and happy and healthy, I love Valentine's Day. I love every holiday with her actually. Like every holiday feels like Valentine's Day. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 20.
20?
Got 20.
She doubled up.
Yeah.
Doubled up.
I doubled up.
You don't gotta talk now, right?
Right, no, I agree. verbatim. No, seriously though, I agree with both. Cause I never really cared about it before, but now like, I enjoy it. I like doing shit. I said be my Valentine today. She said yes.
I see the flowers. I see. It's a nice bouquet.
That's fire.
It's a nice bouquet.
She went crazy, picked me up from work, and I was like, and it's like,
And it's not even Valentine's Day yet.
but she asked
that's
me
the little
last year
appetizer.
too, like before Valentine's Day. Like even though we're together, she still asked me to be her
All right, so
Valentine.
that's something I wanted to ask. Like,
Yes, you do.
So,
Yes, you have
Let me
to
get it
show
out, let me get it
act.
out.
Yes.
All right, get it out.
let me get it out. So, if we're in a relationship, clearly you're my Valentine. Like,
Nah,
clearly.
That's not how it works. Because I can ask someone else.
That's what I said. When I asked her last week,
No,
I said I gotta ask.
you can't.
I gotta ask before
can't.
somebody else asks her. I'm just joking, obviously, but
If somebody,
it's a gesture.
if we're in a relationship, if somebody else asks you and you say yes, what?
We not in a
No.
relationship.
Like,
But
we
think
not
about
in
it
a
like this.
relationship, like-
How would you feel if someone else asked before you even said anything about it?
That's a fact. Even though you're in a relationship with the
Even though
person,
you're
like
in
even
a
if somebody
relationship, you
being
see
funny,
this person every day.
Right.
like the gesture, like I just feel like as women, like the reassurance and that feeling and that
Reassurance.
emotion, like you should always just do it, just because, like you should always make somebody feel like this is special again every time it happens. It's important.
So, all right, so then, now there's another question. So, like, around what time do you ask?
January 1st. Nah, you gonna be my Valentine, right?
I mean,
it's
if,
like- it's
if
like
y'all in a
February 1st?
relationship,
Yeah, y'all in a
she
relationship.
already knew she my Valentine, but
Facts.
playfully
Yeah.
every day I'm like, you gonna be my Valentine? You gonna be my Valentine? But like I
Start
knew I was
February
gonna
1st?
like ask. I didn't really put a date on it. I probably said it last month too, like in January, like you know it's coming up. I was like, you're gonna be
Yeah.
my Valentine next month, like play shit. But like then I really asked for real. Imagine she said no.
If I was gonna position, I'd wait till I did something fucked up and then follow it up with, you're gonna be my Valentine, right? Like, yo, you didn't wash the dishes, but you're gonna be my Valentine, right?
So, what would make you say no, though? Like, if she, or you have to say yes now? Because, like,
I would never say no. So the point of
No, it's
her
crazy.
still asking.
yeah, like, no, it's like, wow.
It's
like,
keeping
Keeping my
it-
options open. I'm not trying to commit to this right now.
The point of her still asking is just like to continue dating while you're in a relationship.
Yeah, yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know, like even when you get married, you're still supposed to date. You're
Keep
still
things
supposed
fresh.
to keep,
Yeah, yeah.
things fresh and
Yeah.
like fun. So like, of course I'm always going to say yes. And of course she's always been my Valentine until like, the day that we die. But like, it's important to like always keep it lively and fun and like free and like, like
yeah, that's cool.
cute.
It's like, it's kind of like a role playing thing a little bit.
Right.
in a sense, or like
Yeah.
a surprise, even though you
Yeah.
know the person's supposed to. It's like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
did it
Yeah.
still, even
Yeah.
though we together and you already knew we were going to do that.
But this is something that like I have, me, I'm always opinionated on certain shit, and then most people don't like my opinions. So right, or I take it too far on some of those opinions, right? Just a little too
It's
far
coming.
with
We
them.
just started. It's coming.
Right?
It's coming. It's coming.
It definitely is. I think that it's those little things for everybody, and I come back to those little things because it's shit like that. Like, yo,
Yeah.
will you be my Valentine? Or did you eat? Or it's always those little
Did
things.
you eat is a huge thing.
Yeah, did you eat
Yeah.
this fire? I love
Did
that.
you
You know what I'm saying? Because now you're really
I
worried
did
about
not eat at all.
Yeah.
I did not eat at all. Please
With a
help
plate,
me.
with a plate in front of you.
I'm really hungry right now.
Help me,
kill myself, please. Right? But the do you eat? How was your day? Shit like that is huge, not just in a relationship, just in your everyday. If you're not getting asked that shit, you're not getting opportunity to open up and say things. This comes to that emotional maturity and intelligence that a lot of cats don't have, especially the younger. You know what I'm saying? You got to have these opportunities to let some of that stuff out because it just builds up. And just talking about it, and it doesn't have to be a crazy day, but sometimes you can have a string of crazy days and you locking it down. You good. And then that one dumb fucking thing happens.
Yep.
You stub your toe on the corner of the bed and the whole world collapses, right? Because, like they say, you know what I'm saying, the last stick breaks the camel's back. So you're sitting there in those situations. The more that you're able to unload just the regular everyday shit and having people care, that does amazing work for you emotionally. And I think we need to do more of that shit. So salute to y'all. I'm glad that y'all do that.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Let's clap it up for that one. That was a good one right there.
Every shorty who talks to me,
So
if you
far,
ask me that, we
I
got a
like
problem.
everything that you said. So far, I like everything that you're saying.
I don't think we're gonna disagree. We're gonna see.
It's gonna get worse. Yeah, it's not time in the dips.
Oh, okay. All right. No, that was really high. So, okay, we'll see.
All
We'll
right,
see.
so next question. Like, all right, so let's say y'all dating, and y'all started dating in December. You got to celebrate Valentine's Day. Y'all started dating in January.
You knew what was coming. The Valentine's Day is the same year.
Hold on,
3 months
but
before
our whole
the
life.
month, the actual day, we still
No,
gotta celebrate it?
I'm saying like in a fresh relationship. Y'all only been together for a month, 2 months. You got.
How important is
you gotta
it
go
in the
hard, you
beginning
have to
of a
go hard.
relationship?
I think it's
essentially?
super important to show who you are from jump, and then to keep it up for the rest of the relationship. Like
Yep.
you don't come soft in your beginning. Like you're supposed to be like, I go crazy.
This is
In
what
the
I
next 2
bring.
years, you could calm down,
Yeah,
whatever.
Right.
But like,
yeah.
if this is your introduction to me, it has to be the best.
So
like,
you go-
it's a
That's
first
That's a
impression.
great answer. That's a great answer.
You go wild in the beginning, and then afterward, you do like the pasta art. Be like, I really thought of you, and I made out of elbows. Just
The thing is, even when you do start the pasta art, it's like I still know when I first met you, you went so hard that I know what you're capable of.
Nah,
you
pasta
know?
art is kind of fire.
That's
But
cute.
yeah, like, that's kind of
Pasta art is
fire.
cute. It's
Like,
fun.
that's kind of.
I use rigatoni for you,
That's
bitch.
mad
Love me.
nostalgic, bro.
Pasta art is mad cute.
No, we're not doing it next year. We'll do it with me in the nursing
See,
home.
yo, I'm telling you, the ideas that pop in my head, they sound crazy, but they
look,
come
look.
across right. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's say like, all right, y'all started dating in January, whatever, right? So you go hard because you know who you are, you want to show who, but then you're gonna keep going hard for a relationship that might not last.
Why wouldn't it last?
I'm saying relationships
Okay.
don't always last.
I
Like,
think
That's true. They don't always last, but like the reason why they don't is because you guys have lack of communication from the beginning. Like you got to know what you're coming into from jump. Like when we first started dating, I told her like I am very marriage minded in dating. Like I want to date intentionally, and she was on the same page. So because we established that like groundwork, you know, we were able to build on that foundation, right? We were able to build on that. So if you're starting off to date somebody and you guys are on the same page, then yeah, it probably isn't gonna work out because you guys don't have the same mindset. So like the future that you guys have together is obscene because you don't know what it is. Like we know what we wanted and we know what we want for our future. So
dig
because
that.
we're able to see that,
I dig that.
we were able to like, you know, just continue on with our relationship. So like we met a month before my birthday and she went hard for my birthday. We went 1 month before my
when your birthday?
September 21st.
And she went hard the first month.
Yes.
That's great.
That's fire. You know
That's great. Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm
Well,
saying? In boxing, you set the tone.
With that question though, it's like that's a mindset too. It's like why is before you're even there or bad, you're like, this might not last. Like, of course it's not gonna last. You've already set
Right.
that tone in your head that you're doing something for no reason and it's not gonna last. So it's not
It's
gonna go.
like you
It's really about-
manifested
literally,
the
for it to go
destruction
bad.
of a potential
I wouldn't
relationship.
say
why?
manifested.
Why you
I
do
would say
that?
I would say it'd be precaution.
I'm on
'cause, like,
fire.
But that's not
today.
but thinking the worst of something is not being precautious because
I'm
I
just
have a
saying-
mindset where I don't like to be disappointed. So I like to think the worst before it gets there, but I feel like it's different. Like she said with communication. You have to like say, "Hey, I'm scared of this. I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen." Then when it does, like it's just done, but like you can't go in with that kind of mindset and be with somebody. Like it's not fair to them either.
It would
you know?
probably be better to have the mindset of, you know what I'm saying, hope for the best, prep for the worst. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But the hope for the best is what you want. That's what your feelings and everything is gonna show. But you're gonna protect yourself on the back end the best way you can.
That's kind of what I was getting at. Cause like, all right, let's say I'm all in. I'm going hard. I'm doing my part. I'm willing to go the extra mile. And then 2 months, 3 months down the line, my heart broken now. You know, it hurts just that much more because you put that little extra effort versus you being a little precautious in the beginning and then kind of build your way up.
But isn't that
would be a protection
isn't
mechanism?
Isn't that the point of it though? Like that's what relationships are. They're gambles. You know what I'm saying? And you either win big or you lose. When you win big, it's the greatest fucking thing in the world.
Facts.
When you lose, you just got to get back on the table. I'm pretty sure I'm doing a terrible job of sitting here making gambling sound like a good thing.
I don't even feel like a relationship's a gamble. I feel like you communicate, and it's exactly what you want it to be.
So you don't think that some people are just incompatible? Like in the moment, you might be
but
lustful.
but they're not supposed to be together.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Of course
Like,
you could be
that's the
lustful,
gamble that you're
but you
taking.
didn't have that. You didn't
I'm
have
pretty
that
sure you
conversation.
was with somebody that you wasn't supposed to be with.
For sure.
But in the moment, you didn't know that or you didn't think that.
No,
you
but
thought
like-
you thought everything was.
I can never say it was a gamble though. It was just a learning experience. When it came to the time and it was done, it was done. But it's like, it's not your emotions. You can't gamble your emotions. It's like you gonna lose it all of your feelings. Like
Well,
you're not,
that's where
a
it gets.
gamble. You might lose.
That's where it gets a little different, right? So we're talking about the gamble of the hurt, right? So the hurt is essentially the money in the analogy, is the pain that you could potentially feel, right? Or the joy that you feel. You're not gonna lose it all. Like you're gonna be on the street and then you'd be like, "This is my cardboard box and this is the living room in the box." You know what I'm saying? Like not that.
Yeah.
But what would happen is that like depending on the person, especially if you're like more stoic and not really heavy on your emotions, things like that hurt even more because you already don't let out those things to begin with, kind of like what I started off with, right? So you tend to internalize a lot. A lot of men internalize, and that's why you see, you know, a lot
For
of
sure.
implosions of like crazy shit because they don't know how to deal with that kind of pain because they finally opened up to that one person that they've ever decided to open up to.
Yep.
And that's where you get a lot of that. It happens to women a lot too, where they sit there and it's that first really big jump for them where they're like, they're all in. Oh shit, this is the person, this is my forever home. Like they do it like, you know, pet dogs and shit like that. Oh, well, I want to make this your forever home. You know what I mean? Like that's how you feel. Like I want my forever person. And you think you found that and then it just crumbles in the worst fucking way.
Yep.
That shit can destroy you and then your mentality going forward with other people.
Yeah, and you'll be more guarded in the next situation.
I agree. You will be more guarded in the next situation, but like it's up to that person that you are now experiencing life with, being able to like break those like walls down, you know. But you also really shouldn't come into a new relationship until you're actually ready to open and receive
you're okay.
that love
That's
from
the
that person
one.
because
That's
they
the one
don't
right there.
deserve
That's the one
that
right
either.
there.
Like whatever it is
That's
that you
the one
went through
right
with your
there.
past, it's like you can't bring that into your new relationship. Like this is new, this is fresh. This could be something really beautiful
And
if
you're
you
ru-
allow it
and
to
you're
be,
ruining it.
But if
and
you're
you're ruining it from the
half-assing it,
beginning.
then it
Exactly.
won't-
And now you
won't ever get
leading
there.
with precaution when this
Yeah.
person on the other side is over here going
They
full
ready
throttle.
for you, like-
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's not fair
And
either.
I
So
think that brings us back to what she said about communication because I think it's, as she was saying, like you shouldn't go into something completely hurt, like I'm gonna get every bitch back because this hurt me. But like, if you find somebody you like them and you maybe you're not completely ready, like you tell the person too, like this has hurt me and this bothers me. Like I need more of this from you. I need you to make me feel secure in these areas. Like it's really communication because I can't even say like we don't have terrible days, we don't have terrible moments. Like it's a roller coaster. Like some days are not good, some days are amazing. We'll have a perfect day, then the next day is like, you know, it's just like, it's emotions. Like we're human. Like, you know, it's like, it's
I
not
dig that.
perfect, but
I definitely dig that.
yeah.
Nah, that's
Just
great.
really communication. Like everybody, I think that's the most common line on earth. Like communication and comprehension in a relationship is everything. And wanting to. Like,
and listening and like listening
See,
to understand and not
That's
listening
I
to
think
respond
that's
is
even
so
bigger than
important
communication.
as well. Yeah.
Because you communicate with
And
somebody, but
transparency.
that should not register in their head.
Right.
Like, it's like I'm communicating
So
with them.
there's an expression, right? Be like, I don't need you to hear me. I need you to listen to me. I
Right.
can hear everything you say.
Right.
Right? I can hear everything you're saying. Doesn't mean I give a fuck about
Right.
anything that was said, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm listening to you, I'm engaging in the conversation, allowing that information to penetrate my head so that I can sit here and either have an action that corresponds with what you're saying, or I can just be like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
but I get that choice.
and both is understanding. Whether you say fuck it or not, it's like, oh, I hear what you're saying, and I, you know, to some extent, I may agree or disagree, but it's like you at least you understand it.
But
Like,
I think that's what's lacking now more than ever is communication skills. Like I said this last time. In my mind, I could be wrong. I'll say now I might be wrong. I don't think so, but I might be wrong.
what's your sign?
We're not doing that.
No. He
Yeah,
hates
sign.
zodiac signs.
You with a passion.
He's
sign.
like a anti-zodiac
you're an earth
sign.
sign, though, yeah?
I honestly, all I know
Just say your sign,
I'm a Leo.
bro.
Oh.
I hate that shit.
No, he did it on purpose.
It explains everything. Let me tell you your lottery numbers. No, that's not how shit works. Yo, so So I find myself to be a high level communicator. I'm able to communicate well. I'm able to get my ideas across. I'm able to sit here, build analogies so that you can sit here and come to the same table as me and for us to have a conversation. I do that very well. Not everyone does that. And when I mean not everyone does that, I mean they don't even have the capacity to engage in a conversation where they understand anything other than the point that they push out.
Wow, that's a great point.
So I'm on it.
Wow.
I'm on it.
You talking about yourself, bro. I don't think.
what
it's-
side?
No, because it's mad times.
the ladder?
No. It's mad times where he only care about his point. He's so argumentative that he's not even listening to
that's-
what I'm saying.
that's the
he only
point.
care about his point.
That's the point, though. First off,
I don't care.
let me show you the high level of communication skills I have. Right? Let me put you on game. Right? When I engage with you in, let's say, for instance, a debate. Right? At that point, I've already staked my claim. And now I am trying to change the opinion of the other people because your mind will not be changed. Even at that, I concede from time to time if I feel like your point is valid. And I will ease off my point so that you can get yours across. Now, you, on the other hand, are what we call a 10 toes down type nigga. Where you're, this is what it is. There's no more conversation. So...
He laughing because he right on point.
Exactly. We have this conversation all the time. So...
Valentine's Day.
there you go.
Back
There
to
you
love.
go.
Man.
That's so funny.
That's what's up, though. I feel like we're having a lot of healthy conversations right now.
I agree with you, though. I'm not gonna lie.
But I feel like...
Three for three.
I'm killing it today, boy.
All right, so go ahead. Go.
You got the targets in your hands. What are we talking about here?
Oh, man.
Nigga said, so you go. I leave.
Push the microwave. Fuck this.
Oh, man. Oh.
So while he's looking one up, right?
Are you celebrating Valentine's Day?
No.
No. Are you celebrating
yes,
Valentine's Day?
yes.
Wow. Great. We love that. Everybody clap.
I love that for you, bro. I love that for you.
That's great.
Did you ask her? No. You piece of shit.
It's okay because you still got a couple days.
You right?
So sad.
I feel like... all right, so let's say I don't ask, but I still show out on
Ain't shit.
Valentine's Day. It don't... What you mean?
How she know she a Valentine's? Where somebody else asked her? We just talked about
But I show out on Valentine's Day, though.
How you know she free?
that. Question though, why? No, seriously, where she work? Cause he didn't ask her, so he like, this nigga don't got no
How
plans.
do I know she free?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Where
Are
she
you in
work
a
that day?
relationship?
We communicate all the time. I know
Are you
she's
in a
free.
relationship?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, better
yes,
question.
yes, I'm in a
Why?
relationship, yes.
Better question. Why not ask?
That's an excellent question, babe.
I have so many jokes here, but it's the Valentine's Day episode, and I'm gonna behave myself.
Why would you
I will
ask?
behave
I mean, it's
myself.
not like I'm anti-ass. Like, it's not. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying if we have an amazing Valentine's Day, I don't think asking takes away from that, or not asking takes away from that.
Oh, she pulled them out. That's
I'm wrong.
crazy.
You're not wrong, but like I will tell you as a woman, and I'm a woman that dates a woman, in love with a woman. It's just like we're women,
see
and
how
I
happy
told
I
as I
am?
told you from the jump, the reassurance is key. Like that
So-
will keep your woman
so-
longer
so-
than you showing out for Valentine's
All right,
Day.
so
you even gotta go crazy.
Wait. So I'm asking you this. So asking how like on a level of doing on Valentine's Day and asking like how do we get like
It goes hand in hand.
For me personally, like if I was more, I guess like the femme in my side, like the asking would be everything for me because I'd be, oh, you still.
so
this
asking
still
is more
matters.
important than doing?
No, it goes hand in hand.
Can
To
I-
not
me,
everyone is
no,
more
that's how she feels about it. I think like the day could be whatever, as long as like we spend it together. Like you could even work and we chill later. But like asking because you took your time out to ask and you went to go get flowers and you wanted me to feel like
So all right, so let me
It's
ask you this. So
important,
So I'm gonna give you two scenarios, right? Mm-hmm. And which one would you prefer? He didn't ask, but he went so hard on Valentine's Day, right? Like the extra mile, he did all the steps, everything from 1 to 100, right? The other person, he did ask, but he kind of ain't really do shit on the actual day. Like, how does that?
Well, how did you ask? Like, how did the person that didn't do shit on the day ask? They went crazy with the ask?
I mean, it's just a hypothetical situation. Like,
That's what I'm saying. But a hypothetical answer as well. It's like, it depends on how you ask. You can't just text, hey, we Valentine's or we good? We chilling Valentine's
so if
Day?
you go
What's up?
hard on
Like,
the ask, but
that's cute too.
don't go hard on the day, that's okay.
I just feel like you can do both. And it takes nothing out of you to ask as well. Because why not make your woman feel special? Because
So I think there's a really cool analogy here that I can make, and you guys can tell me if I'm right on it, right? When you're watching basketball and someone throws up an alley-oop, right? I mean, he sets it up perfectly, throws it to the rim, my man bangs it in. They're both equally a part of scoring in that play, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They help each other.
It had to be a great pass. Yes, it was.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So in that situation, they're both equally a part of the score, right? Because if he didn't pass it there, that person would
If
never
he
had the
didn't pass it
opportunity
so
to score.
perfectly,
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? So they're both there equally. That's what it is. The ask and the day. But here's the difference.
What if he missed the dunk though?
But then that
That's the
falls.
question I'm asking.
fucked up.
What if he missed the dunk? What if he
fucked
threw a
up.
perfect alley-oop, but he missed the dunk?
But
He fucked
But
up.
the thing
But I know
is-
I did my part.
The thing is what's harder? Just jumping up to slam the ball or driving it all the way down? Right? If you already set the tone, it makes it an easier play overall. This analogy is crazy. I didn't think that it would work out so well. Right?
you doing
Yo,
too
so
much.
it works.
I
It
ain't gonna
works
they
out.
completely on your side, like OD.
And
No,
this
you going
is
crazy.
This,
Come
this
on.
analogy's killing it, right?
Damn,
So
bro.
that's what it is. It makes it an easier overall vibe because you already set the bar up high. So even if you do not even the most or what you can in the
you pour it
moment,
like that?
it's everything to that situation.
Wait, you want less?
The boy is
Switch,
crazy.
babe.
No,
I mean, you
want
the
mine. I
bartender.
just asked why you pour like that.
Oh, poured it like what?
Crazy.
Anyway, I love that analysis.
That
That
analogy
was amazing.
Because honestly, it makes sense. Like as they were saying, I was thinking about it, and I was like, "What's analogous to this?" And like, how can I break it down in a way that I would understand it if it was being explained to me? You know what I'm saying? And that exactly was what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're setting the bar high. You're going through the motions. Even if you can't really go all out on that day, you've already engaged in motion. You've already started the port.
I feel like
that you
every
needed.
girl-
Or a better
girl is
question, what's the
different,
male
though.
equivalent
Every girl
to
is
like a
different, though.
Valentine's Day? Like what day makes what day
I'm not
makes
allowed to
like
answer this.
Men
Is
don't
that
get
a thing?
shit. Men don't
For
get
real?
shit, bro. Men
That's
don't-
not true.
Men don't get shit.
That's not true.
Father's
That's
Day?
the equivalent of Valentine's Day?
Fathers, we're not talking about that.
2K drop? With the day 2K drop?
Yo,
Fuck that.
2K,
Hell no, I don't want that.
No, I don't either.
I don't
I
know.
don't
I'm
either.
good on that.
Yeah,
I need something more.
I think
What do you get for women on Valentine's Day?
it's simple.
Don't you just get like the chocolates and everything? So it's just as simple as a gift. That's what she's probably getting. Not in your relationship. I'm just saying like the analogy that people keep having, they keep throwing out. Like men don't get nothing for Valentine's Day or they
They
get
don't, though.
the boxes or whatever. Women get
First of all, no, if
chocolate
you get
and
me,
flowers.
if on Valentine's Day I open up a
mean,
bag
that's
of
not-
this
that's not-
boxers,
I think
tees,
minuscule
and
gifts
socks,
are
yo,
minuscule.
Shorty's the GOAT.
Yeah, I think that's
Boxers,
cute.
tees, and socks in a bag
You
for
guys don't
Valentine's Day.
get,
Go.
you guys don't get gifts for Valentine's Day for real?
Nah, I've gotten gifts for Valentine's Day.
Again,
when you're in a
it's
relationship, I think
Right.
like
Yeah.
It
we,
should be equal.
it
I've gotten-
It should be.
I've
Doesn't
definitely
necessarily
Or if
mean
not,
it is.
like that's not someone you should be dating because that's
Yeah.
weird. They take it. Like you should get two. That's
yeah,
weird.
those
I
are
completely
holidays
agree.
you
That's very
share.
weird to me.
That's a holiday for a couple. That's not a holiday
Yeah, it's
for
not a woman
one
holiday. It's a couple
person.
How many
holiday.
roses he got in there right now?
25.
25, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she came to you and gave you one, is it equivalent to the 25?
I would say yes, but I'm not. I can't answer for you, but I would say yes.
Oh, you're asking me
Yeah.
if I went and handed her one rose?
No, she handed you one rose.
Just one rose.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it still the
Yeah.
same?
Yes.
25?
Yes.
Y'all not-
But
That's
that's
not
that's
fair,
the
too.
perfect part
Absolutely.
of the engagement of the
Because
emotion
she-
in the
yeah,
beginning.
exactly.
Because it all depends on means. If you stunting and you can throw it around, then I'm gonna have an expectation that you're gonna be able to do something like, oh, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Vice versa. If Shorty's able to throw it around and she does something incredible for me, I'd be like, oh my God. But if the means of everything. If I come home on Valentine's Day and Shorty's sitting there low on cash
you stressed about?
and she makes a fire meal.
I'm not stressed. I got a response.
She's got a fire meal and like my favorite bottle of rum on the table. She
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
cute. Nah,
I
that's
got
great.
this
That's
for
great.
you. This is what I got for you. Papi, I'm sorry I couldn't do more
Papi.
or whatever. Right? Because it doesn't matter what she is because I'm Puerto Rican, I'm automatically Papi, right? Papi, I didn't do any more for you, right? So I'm like, I would be like, this is amazing. This is all I needed. Again, that little thing. I don't need
I like little
grand
things, too.
spectacles. It's that little shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is that triple reserved rum, and I got it at a cheaper price, but I got it for you. I know how much you like it. Yo, my heart melts. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you. I love you. Let's eat, and I'll take a shot of the rum because I know you're probably not gonna drink that shit.
I just feel like all women are different. It's some women that put more emphasis on the actual day versus the question. Like if you pop the question like, yo, you want me at that time, you did it in the best way possible. But on the actual day, like we ain't do shit. Why you ask?
That's what I'm saying. But
Technically,
you should,
like,
your
why you
ass should
even
follow
ask?
up with a great Valentine's Day too. And for great Valentine's, like I don't feel like.
So it's
Great,
it's a package.
Yeah, I don't
It's
feel like a
package.
great Valentine's Day is like you spent mad money, you know,
No,
you did the
nah,
roses thing from
yeah.
Instagram. Like, you don't even have to do that. Like he was saying, like, it's little. It's, you got me my favorite thing. You paid attention to, I said I want this. It don't have to be about money. You could call out and you never really call out. Like, it's about your effort and your energy and you're here and we're engaging. Like, it's really,
I think that's the
I
shit that we
agree.
all
none of
like,
that.
especially.
I think that we are in this generation we live in and social media, like, you have to do all these grand gestures to impress. And I don't think that's real. It's
That's
like,
definitely not real.
So here's the
You know?
perfect.
That's a
Here's the
facade.
perfect thing. Where have you had the biggest emotional connection to something that happened? Was it memories with family, friends, things like that, or is it with like, oh man, yo, I just got this new fucking new pair of J's. I just got this new that. Those things are passing. It's material. But those instances of like real connection are huge. That's why when you set it up to start with and you do something, like I said, it doesn't have to be super grand. It could just be light. It's going to have a deeper connection because when they recall it back, whether they're with you or not, they're always going to remember that Valentine was crazy because he walked up to me on the 2nd of February,
And
he
asked.
grabbed me from behind, put a card in front of me, said, yo, will you be my Valentine? That's some wild,
You got me
sweet
from
shit.
behind, babe.
Next year.
You got me from the
Hey,
front.
I'm on it. Yo, my brain is crazy
use
today.
that word,
You
use
got
that
me
word.
from the front.
He's like, fuck.
You got it from the front.
She's that word.
And so, what your point of saying like some women are different, I would just say that the women that are different had good experiences of both, because we are really kind of like all the
Yeah,
same.
'cause I
I'm
was
not
gonna
gonna
say, I
lie.
don't feel like women are different. Every woman would love to be
We all
asked
want
and
to be
then love to have
asked,
a
and we
good
all
one.
want to have a good Valentine's
We
Day.
wanna be
I
asked
feel like
about everything,
they
like,
haven't had
know
a
that.
good moment of like both, so then they probably choose the latter of whichever was a better experience for them.
Because they don't want
You
to
know
be
what I'm
disappointed.
saying?
As I said, I don't like to be
Yeah.
disappointed. So it's like, no, I don't care. Like every woman gonna say, I don't care about
Got
her.
another one.
If a
Go
woman
ahead.
had never had a good birthday, I don't care about birthdays.
Right.
If they never had a good Valentine's Day, I don't care about that.
Fuck
If you've
Valentine's
never had
Day.
a good one, you don't
Yeah.
care about it. But once someone sets a tone, you're gonna be like, oh yeah,
No,
that's
I
my
love
favorite
that.
holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I love Valentine's Day. So that, and then that tells you like, shit, I got
You gotta step
something
it up.
I gotta
Yeah,
do because
yeah.
somebody shitted one time. Like I gotta, you know, like.
I think I figured out another one.
I just think I'm.
Just hit it. Just hit it.
I think I figured out another one.
agree with what y'all
Yeah.
saying. I'm just a little on the fence with the asking part.
You want to know what it
That's just
is?
me. That's
But
just
why?
me.
But you never answered the question why.
Because I just feel like it's self-explanatory. Like you know, I showed you this whole entire year or this whole entire how long we've been together that you're mine or I'm yours or we had that connection. I feel like asking is, you know, it's not really. It's a make or break situation. Just as long as it's on actual Valentine's Day.
I don't think it's a make or break either, but I,
I don't
think
think
that
it's
it
making
hits,
but
it hits harder.
I do feel like you should ask. If I'm being honest with you, and you have a week, and you should do it. You don't even gotta go
I'm
crazy.
gonna do it. I'm gonna
but
do
you
it.
should ask her.
I'm gonna do
And
it.
Even
watch
get
what-
some chocolates
now-
and flowers.
She
But
got
it's
me a
hard.
card,
She
and
gonna
then
be
she asked, and then she put the yes, no, maybe, and then I had to circle it.
It's
Like
just a little
cute shit.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
It's literally like
You're still
when I
supposed
think
to
of, like,
court. You're courting
when I
right
think of
now.
my
Like,
woman,
you
I
guys
think
are
of me,
dating.
like, why not? If I can go and get a card and make her smile, why don't I do it? Why not?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know, it's literally why not? It's like I can. This is stupid, but why wouldn't I? You feel me? Like
So-
easy ways to keep your house happy.
I gotta
you
sit
know?
up on this one. So I got another one that just hit me. Fire.
Now it's
right?
football. We did basketball. Now it's
So
football.
I'm a quarterback. Right? No. not what I'm doing. All right, let's stay focused. All right. No, she brought up something that was like it hit the way she said it. She was like, I don't like having my expectations doused, right? Like if I don't like. She doesn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if things are supposed to be a certain way, it don't rock that way. Now I'm like, fuck, right? For men, we have something very similar. It's called rejection. Men hate rejection, but we continue to run into it. Women continue to sit there, and more times than not, in situations where they have to sit there and take an L on something that they thought they were going to have, or a feeling that they thought they were going to have. That's because I was always wondering. I was like, men always deal with rejection. It's like part of the dating game. It's part of everything. Like, you know, as a man, like if I walk up to a shorty on the street and I'm like, hey, beautiful, how you doing? Nigga, don't talk to me. Okay. Right?
Then you see the next beautiful chick and you try to do the same thing.
I'll be like, I'll try one more time. I think your outfit's amazing. Oh, it's fuck nigga. Right?
But you're not a fuck nigga. You just tried to talk to somebody 5 minutes before.
Right? I'm like,
you take anything you can get.
Okay.
They're not wrong.
Right.
Like, what?
Let's not rationalize this, right? Let's not rationalize that part, right? So, but what I mean is like rejection is something men have to deal with on a regular basis. For women, not so much. But when it comes to feelings, because men don't show them as much, you're putting yourself out there as much as we are for that rejection. You get what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's the trade-off. I like, and only because you said it is what made me think about it.
Shit, 4 for 4, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was always wondering, because like, I know we all seen it. We all see these stupid fucking clips online of dudes talking crazy about women now. Like, that's the new wave.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right? They say some wild shit, and I'm like, hey, I can agree with you on some points, but you saying some wild, dumb shit, right? But I was wondering, when it comes to that, because that's one of the big complaints is rejection. It's a fact. It actually happens. But there's a trade-off for everything, right? So, yeah, women don't have to deal with rejection on the same level men do. But when it comes to having their feelings put out there, they're taking the brunt of those hits. So that's the trade-off.
I agree.
Like, I literally just thought of that. That shit was crazy. Like, I was wondering and wondering and wondering. Like, me and you, we had these talks about all the fucking videos and shit like that. Like, I was like, there's got to be something. And that was it. Thank you. Like, that really gave me a whole nother talking track. So when I yell at people, I have other shit to say.
You're welcome. I love that I added that to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to be like, yo, watch the pod. You see it happen live.
He's so mad he got eyes.
Oh, see. I'm not mad. You mad.
Pass the paper towel.
Can we get the paper towel, please?
What were you about to say?
I don't know.
You're lucky.
So-
This is my Hennessy.
And pineapple.
Have you ever had a bad Valentine's Day?
Not really.
You-
As I was saying, like it's not something like to care about. If I don't care about it, it's like okay, this is just February 14th. You know, it's like cute.
You ever had a bad Valentine's Day? Like you expected more and then you didn't get what you expected?
Yes.
So can you explain?
This was years ago though. Like, so I've always been really, really big on every single holiday, and that's just because like that's just how I grew up. So like my mom was really big on every holiday, and like we would decorate for every holiday and things like that. So I was in a relationship at the time, and Valentine's Day was coming up, so the person that I was with was like really into G-Star, and you know, so I was like a kid. I was like 19, 20. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to G-Star in Soho, and I'm gonna go cop them some boxers and some flag shit, and like,
I'm pretty sure around then that was fire.
Yeah.
That was fire back
Yeah.
then. You was on point with that one. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I'm like, so I went, got that, then you know, some chocolates just to like show like guys can get really good gifts too. So like when you guys were saying that, I was just like, that kind of sucks, you know, like that, you know, guys don't get good gifts. I feel like every holiday, no matter what, like it's, you know, a couple holiday, everyone should get something. So I went all out, I feel like, and did that. And I think, I don't know. It wasn't the gesture. It wasn't the gift. It was the gesture, I feel like, behind it. So I'm really easy, I think, when it comes to like gift buying, right? I'm such a girly girl. I love pink. Like, you don't have to go that hard. Like, just something pink, and like, I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, obsessed. And like, it was like blue roses, and I was just like, this is not even me. Like, I feel like that person just went and just got whatever last minute, you know, nothing thoughtful behind it. And I was just like, all right, cool. So
Blue is so crazy. Not to my
I'm off this. Like, you know, we didn't even like, dinner was whack. I was quiet. Like, I was just like, I ain't doing this again.
She's like, man, fuck these colored
So-
roses.
so-
son.
Yeah.
They ain't pink, fuck them.
So
It was like, I don't even like blue. Like, nothing
I told you, I
about
didn't-
me is like, gives that.
I felt it. So I was articulating it for her because that's what she really wanted to say. I felt it. I was like, let me let it out for her.
So him trying meant nothing.
Did he
Him
try?
trying-
Did he try though?
Duh.
To
He
just,
tried.
Why he tried?
he tried to not come empty-handed, but he didn't try to
But
think about me.
It wasn't personalized.
I don't
though.
even
It
know. I
wasn't.
don't even know the person, but if you know somebody's favorite color is pink, why would you get blue? That means you didn't try. There are pink roses everywhere, everywhere. Pink and
anything.
red. Pink and red are the most common color roses. Why would you get blue
He wanted to
roses?
switch it up.
For who? But you have to
Wow, that's crazy
personalize.
how you just making out young. You're like, nah, but my man, you know,
I'm trying to shoot
you think
some
about it,
bell,
blue,
like,
blue's super rare.
Yeah, hell no.
I don't feel like
I
that.
understand.
I don't feel like it's effort. If
Like,
you know
his
my favorite color
brand. I
is
went and got his
purple,
favorite brand.
Why would
I mean,
you give me
like,
blue?
all right, I see what you're saying.
That's
I see what
where
you're
And,
that's
like-
where it's a little
I see what you're
different.
saying. I see what you're
I
saying.
was like, I really thought
fucked
about
up.
it, and it's
Yeah.
like, you didn't even like even care. Like, I don't know. I just I felt like he
it came
didn't
off
care.
probably like he did something just to do it.
Yeah, just so
Yeah.
that he didn't come with nothing. But it was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I would have rather you came with nothing, to be honest, than pull up with that
You
shit.
said my
So-
shit late. My shit late.
So my question is like, so like before that Valentine's Day, did you see any signs of him not knowing you or him not really, you know, like, because I'm pretty sure like it didn't start on that Valentine's Day. He had to not know you the whole time for him to not know that you didn't like blue.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
That's a great question. Honestly, I think I never even cared enough about that relationship to allow him to really
So you
know me
didn't care
too
either?
much.
There's both of y'all then. That's not just his fault.
No, but like my whole
That
thing
might
is
be that
like,
last stick. And you're like, oh, it's over. Fuck this relationship.
now that I think of right? Now that I think about it, he was going through a couple of like a rough time, and like I was always emotionally available for him, right? To like, I was really a vessel for him, like to allow him to like speak and like pour out his emotions and feel whatever he needs to feel, right? And I never, because it was, I feel like that relationship was, I was focused so much on him and him feeling better at the time that we were dating. I didn't really ever give me to him. And it was like, I would hope that he could just pick up on the little things that I am able to give at the times that I'm giving it, because majority of the relationship is me focusing on him. And so I feel like it was more one-sided, and then the Valentine's Day just fucked me up. I was just like,
Yeah, you
it's
seen
done.
blue roses. He was like, all right.
Yeah, it's done.
That's the.
You
That's the
know.
I'm
last-
giving too much to this
yeah.
person, and I'm not
Even
receiving
care.
anything. Like,
You wanna
I
know
was
what I
pouring
received?
in
So-
so much
All right, so-
shitty ass roses.
So if the roses was pink, you would have stayed like one more day.
She was like, I would have been there for that. I would have been there for another week.
She left that day. She left after dinner. You blocked it about dinner.
It was
That's
done.
crazy.
He
She was
blocked-
like, these blue flowers got you blocked on the gram, got you blocked on my phone.
Yeah. It was too much of pouring into someone and not getting that love back.
That is fucking crazy. That is
crazy.
hilarious, though, at the same
I
time.
get it though.
Fucking
get it,
blue
though.
roses. Y'all,
Hashtag fuck blue roses.
talking shit. Talking shit. So I got a really good question.
Finally, something.
When you're reading the list, it's easier for you to do it. You know what I mean? So, right? I know you coming at me because I'm 4 for 4 right now. You know what I mean? Like when I'm at 100%, you want to come for me. This is crazy. Like, I don't know what's up with you.
What you got? 1 or 2? Right?
He got one. He got one. He got one.
Who's counting?
I am.
Nigga said the winner. Usually.
Right. So, how long into a relationship? Like, matter of fact, how long into dating? Like on average for you, do you think a relationship starts? Like, because I think like I had a whole conversation about this just recently, right? With people with the mindset that if they're talking for a lot of not a lot, but like certain women feel like that should be exclusive, just even the talking period. Like if I'm already giving you that energy, then you know it would be expected that we're somewhat exclusive And at what point do you take that from just being exclusively talking to being exclusively in a relationship? Because like these are the things that even me, I have no fucking clue. Because like for most men, you kind of like fall into a relationship. You're like one step, two step.
No.
Oh shit. So are you picking out the drapes? Because I don't know what's happening with this apartment. It happens like that. Shit just happens out of nowhere. But like for women, I'm hearing different things.
I think that there's no time period if your conversation going into it is what you want. If you say, hey, I'm just dating to have fun, you shouldn't expect anything. But if you say, hey, I'm dating to get married, then you should expect it to move a little bit quicker because we're on the same time frame, you know? Like, it really is all about intentional dating for you to know, like, the time frame of when you're going to do things.
I like that.
And if you're not going to do it at all, you just want to have fun, then there is no time frame. If shit happens, and it's great. But, like, you're not both expecting that.
So even if y'all are on the same page, what is the time frame? Like
On the same page of what?
Like y'all both on the same page of wanting to get married eventually.
No. That's not it. Because, like, you can be all on the same page of getting married eventually. You're dating for fun. If you're saying, I want to get married.
That's not true.
No. You have to be intentional with everything. If you're saying, I want to get married, I have this time frame within like the next 5 years. I want to have a very serious relationship and
yes, like a person could say, "This is what I want for my life. I want to be married. I want to have whatever I want to do. Like I want to be married. I want to take it serious." But day one, you don't fit that requirement on day one. I don't have to give you that luxury on day one. We got to build toward that.
What's the luxury you're building towards?
So this is a complex question because we're two women and you guys are men. So I think men move at a different timing than women in general, and then women in a relationship as well. That. Because even with what you just said, it's like I don't gotta give you that on day one, but me as a woman.
No, I don't say you gotta give her that, but we gotta work toward marriage. Like it's not like.
Oh no, I'm not saying you're gonna get married tomorrow.
What do you think this is, bro? She was like, yo, you were like, this is arranged. My mom said to your dad that I'm smashing you.
No. His question was, like, how long does dating last before you say, all right, I'm serious about this person, we serious about each other, this is what we're working toward? So my question is, when I know that I want to be married eventually, I'm only dating to be married. She says she's dating to be married. But how long does it take for us to finally come to terms like, all right, we're marrying each other?
I really feel like it's a per case thing. Because like, as we spoke about not being ready, the communication, like, it's really you guys are actively communicating about what level you're on. Because even what you saying, like, what color are the drapes? It's like, why have y'all not made official what's going on? Why is there no communication of we are boyfriend and girlfriend? Or why have you not asked her to be a girl? Or vice versa? Or like her asking, are we serious? Are we exclusive? Like, I don't think you should just be talking to somebody and it's like, we've been talking for 8 months. We gotta be exclusive. This is my nigga. This is my bitch. Like, that's weird. Like, I think that's weird as fuck. What? Again, with asking. Why is nobody asking, do you want to be my girlfriend? Do you want to be my boyfriend? Do you want to be, like, why is no one asking?
Yeah, no communication.
All right.
It's crazy because I was thinking the same shit.
The question and we just married. Like, how
because those
we never asked me
conversations,
boyfriend and girlfriend, but I'm asking to be my wife. Like,
perfect
how?
example. It goes back to what I said before because that leads to a possibility of your feelings getting hurt or being rejected.
So get out the relationship.
But it's the two things
No, you
that
can't
people
stay
are
in a
scared of.
relationship.
So,
but not
you gotta know that you feel secure
with
within that relationship,
and you don't feel secure if you
know,
don't even. There's no solidification of what we're doing. We play. That's a game. That's a game to me.
You're absolutely correct.
You might potentially be talking to 10 other people, but
that's why they call
we spend the most time with each other. So you my nigga.
That's why they call it the dating game. Because it is a game, and that's the terrible part about it. But it makes sense. Who calls it a dating game?
I do not call it a dating game.
It's not a game. You can date. I think it's really okay to talk to 5 people at one time, but the 5 people should know I'm talking to 4 other people. And maybe the best person would.
So look,
like,
his
you know,
question
like,
is, originally his question was, if you're in the dating side, what it would take, or how long does it take for you to transition to, all right, I'm no longer just dating around. This is.
But I answered. I said it's per case. Like, that's not really a question that someone can answer.
So what does it take then? What does it take?
That's a better question. Because there really is no time frame for these things because, like, everybody moves on a different wavelength, you know? And it's
my
like,
answer is still the same. It's, you guys get to that level. As I said, it's per case. And someone should ask.
I think what
Whether the girl asks
changes-
you, are we in a relationship? What are we doing? Because we have been talking for 8 months.
just the
and you have not asked me a
question.
question. Or the nigga go, you my girl, or you talking to other people like.
What changes is that feeling of security that you have with that person. What changes is that open line of communication, feeling like you're heard in this relationship, feeling like that person understands you, feeling like, you know, for us, for, you know, our case, it was like, okay, you're a God-fearing woman like me. That's so important. Like, you are open with me. You care. You're understanding. We have the same morals and ethics and values. The things that I do does not go unnoticed. The things that she does does not go unnoticed. We sing each other's praises, and it was just like, wow, okay, so what changes in that dynamic is feeling like you found your person. It's hard to put to words, like the thing that makes you have that flip. But once you have that flip, you know you have that
That's
flip.
what I say. It's like, it's really per case. Like, I feel like you could meet your future wife and maybe y'all could date for a year.
I'm sure y'all have a great relationship, right? It seems that way, right? So let's say y'all first 3 to 4 weeks dating, you asked her, what are we? You know, like, that's kind of like, hold on a little bit. Like, let's kind of fill it out a little bit. Let's see what.
But then that's communicating.
I'm not saying that that's y'all's case.
That is our case.
Not for her. Where's that
Yo, call Mount now for your free reading. My man's out here, bro.
That is our
He's
case.
reading the cards.
So I asked her, I was like, you know, we spent a lot of time
weeks
together.
in? How many weeks in?
Maybe 3.
3?
No, I'm lying.
2?
Like the fourth date. She was like, what are we?
2 weeks? Nah, that's low.
I think it was 3 weeks because it was actually it was a month. It was the week before my birthday.
I ain't go from Jackie.
It was the week before my birthday. I was like,
she knows.
I was like,
I remember.
it was week before my birthday.
It's okay.
2 weeks?
But you asked to get around your birthday, though. Yes. It was 2 weeks. It's okay. We here.
What did I say? What did I say?
We gonna do that. We gonna do that. Yo, it would immediately turn into a conflict. We gonna do that.
Yeah, say what I said in 2 weeks. I know what I remembered a week before my birthday.
So 2. All right.
But
So
what did I
that's
say
all right.
before 2
All right.
weeks?
So 2 or 3 weeks don't really matter. That's just around the same time period. So you was quick to say, "What are we?" Right?
I didn't say what are we. I said, babe, I just feel like. Also, what do you think about love versus hate? And she was like, "What do you
That's
mean?" And I was just like,
She was fishing, boy. She was fishing.
I literally was saying, like, what the fuck that mean?
She was fishing. That's crazy.
yeah. So I was like,
seriously.
you know, people be like, "Oh, I hate this, I hate that," so quickly.
Yeah, you
But
gotta
like,
get that money.
it's always so hard to say when people never say, "Oh, I love this" immediately, or "I love that," like, you know.
I agree.
And she was like,
She
I
hit
agree,
me with
I
that.
agree,
I was
I agree.
like,
so she was like, I agree with that. I was like, yeah, you know, love, and you know, so what are we?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's like
that is fucking
5%
bonkers.
manipulation.
What?
Like,
5%. I'm that shit. 25%. She was like,
25% manipulation.
it's crazy how people hate everything,
No,
but they don't love stuff.
you don't get it, but-
really quickly.
You know what I mean?
How do you feel about me? No,
but-
where are we going?
wait, but that's it.
That was
exactly
it, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you set the premise of what the conversation was
Right.
gonna be.
Like-
you were looking for a direct answer and then asked the question. Because
I'm pretty
When
sure.
I
she-
said-
I
Wait,
say
what I
this to
say
say
though?
kind of person.
you should have been in a fucking
I mean, like, I
courtroom.
say
Like,
this
that
to
was
say-
crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah, people always tell me that I should be a lawyer. Like,
That sounds like some courtroom
I
shit.
create a case and like I solve
What I
it.
say?
I solved
So
it.
what if Justina would have said like,
What did
"Yo,
I answer?
I'm not ready yet"? Like, how you would have? Like, she's not ready to take it as serious as you are. Like, I see this in us. I know that this is something that I want to get to, but at this current moment, I'm not fully ready to really, like, dive in.
I mean, I would have had to respect it because at the end of the day, like, I don't want to force somebody into something and I know you're not in 100%, so you're not going to give me 100% and I'm ready to give that to you. So it will be, again, a situation where I feel like I'm pouring into somebody and I'm giving them my all and I'm not getting that back in return. So I would have just like...
I'm telling you.
We would have
it's
still
just-
been
it's nuts.
together. We would have still worked towards.
Perfect question.
Will we have still worked towards it?
What did I answer in that case?
You said, "Oh, I agree," and you said.
When you said what are we? What did she say?
Did I really say what are we though?
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
You didn't,
It was a
yeah.
joke. Yeah.
She legit just dropped that bum ass like, why people so quick to da 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 da? And I was like, that's true. But then I was thinking about it all night. I'm like, fuck.
Nah, she put it on you.
Yo,
she put it on you.
Yo, I was head fucked by what she said.
Nah,
I
me
was
too.
like, yo,
Bro,
wait,
imagine being the
what?
person we were the only people in the room. We were together in the crib. I was
We're on the couch.
You're stuck with that shit.
I think I walked away, right? So it was heavy.
Yeah.
That
You,
shit's like thrown in your lap. You're like,
you got to. You asked about
heavy,
what
that's
is some
heavy,
juice.
that's
Yeah. Because everyone's always like, "Oh, I hate."
But
people
that's
say
real
hate
shit, but I never,
That's real,
until
real,
she
real,
brought
real.
me that,
Like,
that
loosely.
perspective, I'm
But
like,
the only thing I don't.
that's true. Nobody
Nah,
ever
hold on.
questions
Alright,
when you
so
say I hate somebody.
I'm gonna give a little pushback. You said something that was very, very true, but you only really said it because of the line right after it. You gave it a little truth, and then you hit it with the. Like,
So the reason why I gave her that
like-
that energy and I came up with that was just because I couldn't believe that so quickly I was starting to love this girl, right? And like I didn't want to be looked at as like a weirdo for like saying like I love you so quickly, but that's how I felt, you know? Like we've been talking about communication this whole episode, right? And the first day we spoke, we were in like great communication for like nonstop, I think a full 48 hours.
Yeah, it was ODN. It was crazy.
It was crazy. And I was just like, wow, I haven't had an intellectual conversation in so long. This is amazing, you know? And like, it just kept going and never died down.
To this day.
Period.
to this day.
we like 2 years
why you
in
go down
now.
like that? Like, yeah, to this day.
Nah, she got it
Right now,
Pop your shit.
still.
Pop your shit.
So it was just
Pop
like,
your shit.
so it was just like, you know what? Like, because I knew I didn't just like her anymore. You know, I knew like, I think I
So you
fucking
feel like,
love
all
this
right, so my
girl.
question
So-
is this. You think you would have been hurt if she wasn't quite there yet?
Oh, absolutely.
My baby sensitive.
Absolutely. I would have been hurt.
But why though? Like if everybody's different, some people love faster, some people fall in love fast, some people take time to get acclimated. You know, like why would you feel hurt that she's only
Yeah,
like
we can
5
answer it.
steps behind you?
Well, I can't answer for her, but I can answer like on a humanly note. It's just like I just feel like as humans, if we're doing something with somebody and we feel like we talking every day, we on the same. You feel like we got to be on the same timings because you answer me. You
Yes.
talk to me the way
That's
I
the
talk to
answer I
you.
would give.
You think the way I
Absolutely.
talk to you. You da da da. But you
But
see how you
everybody's
disagree.
trauma is different though.
But you see how you
Everybody
disagree with me?
grew up
That's why.
differently.
That's why I mentioned like you're a male and I'm a woman. I feel like we are more emotionally inclined from jump. Like
They're
it's
definitely more
emotional,
intelligent than we are.
and we talking about
Because
it.
we're given that space to be more emotionally
Correct.
intelligent.
But that's
Man up, stop
hold
crying.
on, wait.
Yeah.
But,
Exactly.
wait, hold on.
Nah, men. Well,
That's
okay,
what
fine.
he's
That's what
saying.
that's what men do.
happened.
But
Niggas said, wait, why? I don't like that. I was like, don't do that.
But you kind of got to look at it like that's kind of a tad bit selfish. Like you at level 10, I'm at level 9. You shouldn't be heartbroken because I'm at level 9.
Hold up.
It's
Or at
not a
level 8.
heartbroken,
You
it's
know,
just
like,
disappointment.
Hold up.
Like,
Yeah, it's just a hurt. I don't
just
think it's
hurt.
about. I don't even think.
And that's an emotional.
I don't even think you would say it like,
humanly,
oh,
like,
that's fucked up. Like, you're not gonna say that. It's just like, she probably gonna tell her group chat and her
Yeah.
friends, like, y'all, she violated.
ready, yeah.
But for me, she gonna give me the, like, okie doke until, like, I say it back.
Until you
Or
get-
I
until
feel
you
that
get there,
same
yeah,
way.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
like,
But
Yeah,
I think once you, as a woman, like, once I drop that bomb, I'm expecting, like, if I am okay to say this, I feel like you
I'm
feel,
in a safe space
you
to say
feel
it, and I feel like
you
we're
probably
good.
feel that way a little bit, and you might not even say it, but I know that it's there because like I feel like that's how our brains work. Like we're not gonna say it until we feel like we can agree, even if you don't say it. She probably gonna go into the chat like I know she do. She's scared to say it because she feel like I'm gonna do whatever, but like
Right.
you know she
Right.
feel it. I feel it because I wouldn't say like I feel like that's a woman thing. Like it's an intuition. Like we don't feel it until it's felt. Like, you know, like she wouldn't say that to me if she knew I didn't feel it.
Right.
'Cause I felt it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
We talked about that later down the line. It was like she
I
was
was like,
on
I'm
the
not
same
saying
type
that
of
shit.
Wait, so
timing.
my
She
next
was
question
just
is like, so you felt it, but she said it first.
yes.
yeah.
Why you ain't say it first then?
I was scared.
That's a legit answer.
You was scared of what?
I don't know. We were getting to know each other. It was fresh and new, and it felt too
So
good.
you're not scared
It
to be
felt too good
vulnerable?
to be true. I'm not scared to be vulnerable, but it felt too good to be true. I'm just like, this is too perfect.
Yeah.
She's too perfect.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
level
she
of
loved me. Like
Yeah.
she lying.
that's a level of
That's
sitting there
weird.
being guarded because you would open yourself up to being, to a sense, in that moment, vulnerable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I definitely get that. My thing is
But I'm completely vulnerable at all times because I was vulnerable in all other senses. When she said that, it made me like, whoa,
yeah.
you lying.
So no, but the
We
thing
all know
is,
what you're talking about,
the thing
like-
is like that's this is like the way this shit is intertwining is nuts. Like being vulnerable for a man is very difficult off rip.
Facts. That's a
Right?
100%
It's
fact.
it's very difficult off rip. So it's really hard for men to admit when they feel something or show something. So in those instances, you're correct. Like you're gonna be way more emotionally intelligent than a man at the same stage that he's at, that you're at. You know what I mean?
Right. For
sure.
It's just automatic. This is the same conversation I'm having with younger niggas. I'm like, yo, listen, like you gotta understand how it is that you feel, so that this way you're able to sit there and articulate that out to someone else. Because if not, then you're all you're doing is shortchanging yourself, right? But in this instance, it makes perfect sense. It's like it's nuts to me that you acknowledged it, you realized it, and then you dealt with it. For a man, there would be no acknowledgement, there would be no dealing with it, and it would be run away because she's trying to break down my wall.
Why though?
Because
I
that's
was
what
gonna
most dudes
say
do.
that too.
Like I'm gonna be honest, if I feel like I'm getting
that's true,
myself
though.
into a situation, like I'm getting backed further and further into a corner, which you should never feel like.
Yeah.
But
You
now
should- you should feel
I'm
loved.
being. That's what it is because we don't get that same sense, right?
Right.
So like for me, it's gonna feel like maybe you're overpowering me with things that I'm not used to feeling. So now I
Okay.
feel like I'm gonna get back more and more.
You're
into a
used to
corner.
feeling it. It's just that you've never been able to express it.
Correct.
I think we should break
But because
that
you're
for
able
men,
to
too.
express it now, like that person gave you that opportunity to open up and now feel safe and vulnerable. And like,
But it's kinda-
know that you're
that
gonna be
becomes
protected.
scary.
It's a bit
No, but you get to be
intimidating, though.
protected because it's like she brought up something for you that you was always thinking about,
It's
but
literally
never
open
felt
floor.
comfortable
I feel like,
enough to
I feel
do.
like the words are open floor. Now say what you need to say.
Hold
But
on,
like
though.
you could be scared,
Hold on,
but
wait.
like it's there.
But that's great to have that as a mature mind. But if you're thinking about it, like if I never had that experience in my entire life, that's kind of intimidating a little bit.
But what
it's
is
scary.
but
It's
what
scary.
but
You know,
what
every
ex-
day
what
is
new
a
Alright, so-
different
so
experience,
let's
and
say-
every
hold-
day
hold
can
on,
be
wait,
intimidating.
I was
hold on,
like,
hold on.
what new experience is not
I'm
intimidating?
gonna keep it very simple. So let's say a man likes to receive flowers as a gesture of love, whatever, right? That's what he requires, right?
Yeah.
It's intimidating. Like if I said it to him, yo, you a bitch ass nigga, bro. Or not just him, just society.
Anyone.
Period.
No, 100% me. I'll definitely say that.
Like, yo, you a bitch ass nigga.
I would say it too on some play shit, but I don't mean it. I think
That's what I'm
beautiful.
saying. So it's like so to open that floor to give that person what you require or what makes you happy is kind of like intimidating.
There's also social stigmas about certain things that when they happen, you already know that in an area of your peers, they're going to look at you
Facts.
like you're weird. Even if some of them like it,
Facts.
socially they gotta act a
But
certain way.
that's
Facts.
a man in locker room shit. But I think
No, that's
that
a
as
man
No, hold on,
just a
that's the-
but I
community
think like
shit.
as a man,
entire earth.
but I think
Locker room.
not
You're
even.
right. It's
Not
not
even.
fair.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I can say that for what like life has been, but like I feel like the world is changing. And
the world
I don't know if y'all be
definitely
on You be on Facebook. Facebook is funny as shit. I was telling her she don't be on Facebook, but Facebook has this new like trend about like, is it what was the shit I was telling you? Like
I don't
it's
know, babe. I don't
anything
be on
like,
Facebook.
is a nigga a bitch for walking down the block with an umbrella? And then like people will comment that shit's funny as fuck.
Hold on. See, like that's some toxic shit. Like niggas can't really do nothing. Like
That's what I'm
like,
saying, but it's jokes. Like on Facebook, it's jokes. Like a girl will
but
post
that's
that,
what-
and the niggas will comment like, "Yeah, nigga, why you blocking yourself from water? You don't like to get wet. You don't like da da da." But it's
That's
like it's
fucked up,
jokes. But
though,
it's like It's
dead ass.
It's real.
Yeah.
But
Because
in the
like that's
begin-
locker room talk. That's what I'm talking about. Like y'all, you amongst your
But the
niggas,
thing
y'all
is,
gonna be like, nigga, you a bitch. You like
it's
getting
no
flowers.
longer
Like,
the locker room when women think the same thing. Because the
But
women
women
aren't in
don't-
the locker room with
nah,
us.
that's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Women
true.
So
are weird now too.
I seen a post.
We in a different
I
ass
seen a
world,
post
bro.
that said, if a nigga laying with his ass up, how you gonna protect you?
I saw that just the other day.
That's what I went to outside. Nigga said, get off your stomach, nigga.
Like, damn, bro.
You should the one that said that if you're the culture, bro, and you sleep in a passenger seat, you bitch. Why are you tired? What you
The shit that they come up with. This is why you a bitch. We do it for everything. For
Yeah, it's funny
everything.
though. But I don't feel that way. Cause like
But,
what I was gonna say is like, I don't know how we do it, but like we need to break that stigma. Like, but as I said, like this new generation of men, like men are labeled sassy now, but like I think it's beautiful to be emotional and be like, I don't like this, and I want flowers, and I want to be treated this, and I have emotions.
This is a good ass topic.
It's such
like,
it's such a like.
this is a good topic to have with y'all. Cause like,
You feel safe? This is a safe
No, no,
space.
no, 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 no,
I
no,
love
no, no,
that.
no,
That's
no,
we
no.
love men.
It's not about
It's a
feeling
safe
safe.
space.
It's more like, cause like I respect Justina. Like, so I like it's certain shit like I hear from you, and I be like, nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. But if I hear from her, it might register in my brain a little
So can I
bit.
just call you, tell you shit, then you repeat it to him? So you shut
It might register in my head a little
Hey,
different.
Justina,
Like,
yo, real quick. Let me put you on the game real quick. Tell this motherfucker so he can shut up. It's like in his mouth.
oh, that's funny.
But I think the masses of the world don't like it, but like as I said, like that's the social media facade. Like those women probably like it in person, but on social media they'll bash it. But like I don't feel like none of that shit is real. Like I think men should be emotional.
That
I
shit
think
is
you should say
definitely
what
real,
you
though.
want.
It's
I
definitely
think you should
real.
be intentional. Like we are humans. Like at the end of the day, like we just have different body parts. Like we are emotional. We're beings. Like talk and cry and be sad and be happy and ask for flowers and be a human.
I agree with you, but that's not reality.
It's not. But don't fuck with her.
I cry.
Don't fuck with no girl that does not want you to be a human being.
I fuck with that.
If a woman calls you a bitch for being a human, you should not be with her. Her mindset is off. That should not be your wife. Like that's really how I feel. If someone tells you you're a bitch for wanting flowers or for wanting to feel emotion or wanting to cry or wanting to be a human, like that is not a person you should be with.
I would think a nigga is
really
weird
feel
if he
that.
didn't cry. Like, I would think that we need to break down a lot of barriers. We need to go to therapy. We need to figure this shit out. Like, how are you not
Yeah,
able
shit
to
is weird.
cry? That is scary
That's
because it's like
common,
you
though.
And I won't
haven't
even-
tapped into like a whole side of yourself. Like,
but
and there's a lot of growing
I
that you
won't
need to
even-
do, and it's a lot of nurturing that you need at that time. It's not a love that you need. So it's like
But
all of
And this
that
is my
rolled
perspective,
into
'cause,
like
like,
one is like you
crying
gotta.
is
It's
definitely
real.
considered a
I have
weakness,
a
though.
little brother. I have
But
a
that's
10-year-old.
such a strength.
I'm not
Being
saying-
able to
I have a
cry
little
is a
brother.
really, really big strength.
agree.
I was never really a crier.
Even as women, that
And,
is a
like,
strength.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what it is. I said it's considered a weakness.
No, but
It's
for women
considered
too,
a
but not
weakness.
only for men. Crying is considered a weakness in general. Because
Yes,
even
yes,
me
yes.
as a woman, like
Yes.
it took me a long time
But-
to be like, it's strength to be emotional. Like I love crying now. That sounds crazy, but like crying is like a release.
release.
But like
Yes.
I remember being younger and thinking like, oh yeah, when I don't cry, it's making me tough and I'm
Yeah,
strong
yeah.
and I can fight any battle because I have so much
hold on.
built up. Like that's crazy.
So I think we're talking two different conversations. I agree with you on what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about what is considered. So crying is considered a weakness. That doesn't mean that that's truth. But I'm talking about societal norms. Crying is considered a weakness, and women have the ability to be weaker than a man, and it's okay. Like if a woman is weaker than a man, it's not a problem. It's okay that she's weaker than a man. A man can't be weaker than a woman. It'll be frowned upon.
But that's what I said. I think we need that. That was my point in this. I don't think we're on two different topics. My point was we need to get out of the societal mindset. Like, why do we have to think like society? I don't think like society, and that is my point. Think for self. I have a 10-year-old brother, and like I think it's
He's gonna
very
love
important.
this.
Yo,
Before
but-
we left, he was like, "Make sure you speak
he said
about
talk
me."
about
I ain't gonna lie.
me. But seriously,
You talk about him?
he's talking about him.
I see him grow. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you see, you know my baby.
see the growth.
But for real, like, I think I always, like, since he was a baby, like, since he was able, my brother started talking very early. He started talking at 11 months. But it's like, I will always tell him, like, as a man, when you become a man, like you should cry. You should always tell someone how you feel. And my dad is a very Caribbean mindset man who'll be like, stop acting like a little bitch when you cry. Like that is what we're raised on. But like I give him the opposite and I'd be like, no, real men cry. Real men tell women how they feel. Real men say this is what it is and this is how I feel because that makes you stronger. But that is not what society says. But I don't want him to be a societal man. I want him to think for himself and teach other men around him. This is not locker room talk. We are in real life. We're not a locker room. And I feel like men are programmed to be in a locker room talk. We are in real life. Like, you're supposed to feel. And I really feel if a woman does not calls you a bitch for crying or for being who you are, that is not your woman. Like, her mindset is off. Go get a new woman.
So what happens if I leave her and the next woman I deal with call me bitch for crying?
You have a bad type. You choose a bad type.
God, she took my words.
That's
She
a
took
type.
my words.
Then I leave her. The next woman tell me
You're
I'm a bitch for
choosing a
crying.
type, bro. You looking for these women.
Hold on, wait, but this is the same
Because
shit that
as
they
we
say
spoke
about women.
When this conversation started, we talked
What
about
are they saying
how
about
men get
women?
rejected.
I got
So
you.
men are the courters. And you're courting these women. So you're choosing a bunch of women that think you're a bitch. Go find
Facts.
women that actually
Yep.
have substance.
Yep.
That actually care.
When they do the
that care
opposite for
about you.
women, right? When they be like, oh, well, these women will be having all these fucking kids and all these different baby fathers. They have a type. Men do too. They do the
Literally,
same exact
everyone has
shit.
type.
They wonder why they can't grow emotionally or in
But you
general.
hear what I'm saying?
Because
You hear
keep
what I'm
with the
saying
same
as a woman?
shitty
I don't even
people that
like
keep
men.
you
I don't
low.
even date men. But I have a brother and I have male friends and I have males around me that I love. And it's like, that is not love. Someone telling you you're a bitch for like
That's definitely
being
not
emotional,
love. I
that
agree,
is
that's not
weird. That's weird. That woman does not love you for who you are. She wants you to be
But maybe
what
she's-
society said you should be.
But maybe she's too wrapped up in society norms. Like,
Then
it's,
yeah.
not, it ain't that easy. Like, oh wait, like you are
Because
gifted.
she could have been taught that
Yes,
as well. Like,
yes.
oh
You're
yeah,
gifted
my
in your
father
thought.
always told my brothers don't cry. You over here crying like a little
Yeah, yeah.
bitch. Like you need to not. Da, da,
I
da.
look at it like that.
That's true.
Because you're
so
gifted.
it's like
you could think outside of the norm. There's not a lot of people that could think outside the norm. It's people that are just bombarded by what this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way it's always been, and this is the way it has to.
You
keep
know what I
going.
love
But I mean,
about
honest,
right
bro, I
now?
don't-
Like, we are living in a world where like everything is slowly but surely changing. Like,
Yes.
I remember when I was watching like these ads for anti-bullying in school, and I was just like,
Yo,
the fuck
yes.
is going on here?
Yeah.
We need bullies. Like, I was saying in my head, like, what? These kids are gonna be
Wait,
soft.
hold on, what the fuck is going on?
We just went soft. We just
I
went.
really,
wait,
I
what?
really did. That was
fuck?
like,
We just went left as
they're
fuck.
going to be.
Wait, hold on, wait.
and-
Hold
but
on,
wait, you
now
going,
I was like,
hold on.
But then I was like, you know what?
Why
Wow,
do we
this
need
is actually.
bullies?
That's what I was thinking at first, because
Okay,
that's how
right.
I grew up. You have a bully. You teach that bully like,
Okay.
I'm gonna be the.
I see that. I see
You're
what
not
you're
allowed to bully the little kids around me.
saying.
Now y'all gotta let me finish. You can't. You're not about to bully the kids around me. Then you start sticking up for the kids, and then like you're so anti-bully, and you don't even realize you was over here creating this whole like scheme that we have today that's on the ads. Like you was that person that was very anti-bully. Like you always made sure like you were friends with everybody around you and like everybody was good, and you know that's how I was in high school. So it's like when you see that, I was like, what? There's no like, then I was like, wow, I love that. Like, you know, and it's like, so we have that going on. People are now speaking about, because I have two brothers that have mental illness, you know? But now mental illness and like the talk about mental health is so like prominent and everywhere. And it was so taboo to speak about that because I grew up in a Caribbean household as well. And it was like, that's just demon. We're gonna pray it out you. We're gonna pray it out you. Like, it was never like,
Lot of
no,
holy
you
water
need
thrown.
to go and get help. You know? So we have that. We have anti-bullying, we have the mental health. And like now I feel like it was like a little parodies that was going on where it was like these kids was like, on God, no, somebody was like, yo, give me your lunch money. He was like, on God, you broke, nigga, you need some lunch money? Like, on God, I would never tell somebody I need my lunch money. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, they so
Bullying is
free.
crazy this
Like,
generation.
You can't,
That's
you know what I'm
crazy. You can't
saying?
even-
You be seeing that post
How you cook the dude who coming to take your shit? Yo,
Yeah,
you broke?
you broke?
Crazy.
Yo,
You broke?
Honestly, bro.
Oh God, I would never.
Yo.
So it's like we got all of these things
That's
happening,
funny,
and it's
bro.
like
I wish I
changing.
thought of that when I was younger.
Right, me too.
Me
Broke
too.
ass niggas.
It's great.
Nah, we were dead ass talk about that. Remember
The other day,
remember when the first day of school dropped and they was like, damn, I'm happy I'm not going to school anymore because niggas is coming to school and they are Marys and they fucking Pradas. Like, life is crazy.
It's a completely
Nah,
different.
It's
Well,
different. So like what I was getting at is like now I think that, yeah, I guess this Facebook thing that's going on was real jokey about like men, but like, I think we're creating more safe spaces for people to like speak and like feel like they are comfortable enough to talk about whatever is on their mind.
Yes.
And so I'm just so happy that like now it's no longer, like it is still happening, of course, in some households, but like, even if it's happening in that household, they can stray away from that and go find like a group of people that's gonna like respect them and love them.
I think
and,
we
like,
need to take the stigma off of safe spaces because they made safe space sound like it's a fucking insult.
Nigga said
Like,
this
you
is
need,
a-
you need a
Safe
safe
space.
space?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, motherfucker. Like, I don't
do.
want to be on guard all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there should be no reason why I'm sitting here and I'm around a bunch of fucking dudes. And if I sit here and articulate my feelings about something in the
You gonna call
moment,
me a bitch.
I'm a bitch ass nigga. I don't
Right.
want to be a bitch ass nigga all the time. Sometimes I'm going to tell you that maybe, just maybe, that movie made me a little emotional. Right? I can't believe the dog died. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yo, like, it's hard. Like, there was
I hate when a dog dies.
There was
Me too.
There was Bill Burr, one of my favorite comedians. He has a joke, right? It's no longer applicable, but it was like what we would usually call each other back in the day, and everything would always go to it. No matter what it was, you were this, right? Yo, it's raining outside. You got an umbrella? Guess what you are, right? Oh, you getting bananas on your pancakes? Guess what you are, right?
Yeah.
But it's the way that we are. It's the way that we literally get at each other. The problem is that we tend to forget that some of those people might fall into that category and feel some type of way about it. So it's cool to do it within your friend group as long as everyone has that understanding that it's okay and it's a safe space. That if you are, we're just gonna sit here and just call you the opposite.
Yeah.
Because that's still gonna be funny. Because the point is to insult you. you know
That's
what I
what
mean?
I would say, but I feel like as I just said, like we should end that the social normalization. Like it's cool to joke with your bros, as you said. If he said like I love flowers, I'm gonna call you a bitch, and I said I probably say that shit jokingly too. But it's like you also have to give the like make him feel secure about it. Like I'm not gonna lie, bro, I do like flowers too.
You know what
but
I'm saying?
like,
Tulips is fire, son.
why you
know
say
what
that
I
in front of
mean? Like,
everybody? That's crazy. Like, why you say
Tulips
that?
is
You know,
fire.
like,
I love that.
Be like, be like, yo, but I saw you looking at that sunflower. You a bitch.
exactly.
Nah, I
It's
feel
a
you.
balance. But like we have to get out of the locker room mindset. Like I feel like that's been the thing for too long. Like beyond our community, like the black community, the minority community, like that, you know, like that goes all the way back to like a higher power trying to make us less and making us feel like we're not that. And now we have become that and we do that to our
But
brother.
I mean,
the person
you
who looks
guys,
like us. Like
you guys hit it even harder because that island shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Like immediately,
It's
everything
really
is
crazy,
demons.
seriously.
So
Everything.
and I tell everybody this all the time. Be like, yo, it's faster for me to swim to Jamaica than it is for me to swim to fucking Florida from Puerto Rico. All right, it's right there. All right, so that means our people were swimming it. All right,
Yeah, for
so
sure.
they have the same mindset. Everything is always gonna be based off of something else. It's always gonna be something supernatural. Oh my God, yo, my man's bouncing off the walls. Give him Ritalin. Give this motherfucker something to calm him down. No,
we
Bobby,
gotta
no. He needs get the holy water. Call the priest.
but we will not play with prayers like they don't work. The prayers do work. The prayers do
I-
work. But
We prayed to get people that went to school to get this education to learn how to treat them.
That's a
and
fact.
that's
That's
the
the
gift.
best way I've heard it so
That's a
far.
fact.
That is the best way I've heard it so far. But like I don't see why is it that we're all like that. Like I tell people all the time when you look at our community, right? We label it one thing, but then we forget all the people that fall into it.
Right.
Right? There's a ton of fucking people that fall into it. When they say the black community, it's never just people who are darker skinned. You wind up with a ton of fucking people in there because the diaspora is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like it's huge. Like I have family members that make Mel look light skinned because they crispy as shit. And then I have other ones who are blonde hair, blue eyed. And you already know this from the islands. You got some that literally look like they're from India because that's what West Indians are. You know what I'm saying? Like they look like they're from fucking India. And then your next cousin, who's literally related to this motherfucker by blood, look like he's from the projects up in Marcy. You know what I mean? Like it's so crazy how huge that pool of people is. And they all think the exact same way because the same shit we're talking about happens in every single one of those households. And it's fucking terrible because it builds those same fucking people. Like those same people who sit there and continue the same flow of the same nonsense. Like not being healthy in relationships, not knowing how to articulate how they feel, coming across things properly, knowing when things aren't okay, when it's okay to speak out about things. You know what I'm saying? What love really is. Like that's the one that I like. Since it's the Valentine's Day episode, that's the one I really wanted to talk about. What is love to you? Like for me, it's encompassing a lot. Like there's a lot that goes into that. It's those little things
Is
we
that the
spoke
question?
about. Yeah, like what is love to you? Like it's. I'll get to mine because mine's is gonna be lengthy because I had a lot of time to think about this one. So I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on it. So go ahead. What's love to you? In 3 words or less.
Cause you about to go hard. You're like,
She said,
since you asked.
I always waited for this moment.
She got the Oscar. I just want to thank everyone to give me this opportunity.
love to me is
Right, coffee in the morning. No, love is shit. Like love is just like the purest, most divine, most like beautiful, most like real, most like ugly,
I'm glad
like
you said
most
ugly.
like disheartening, and then in love, and then like in bliss, and then like anger, and it's like so many things all wrapped into one. Like love is the realest shit I've ever experienced in my life, and I know, and now I know love, you know, and love takes a lot of strength, and it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of presence. But, you know, through it all, like, it really does become the most beautiful thing that you can literally ever experience. And it's trying sometimes, and it's hard, but it's, like, pure. You know, like, it's just, like, it's super pure. Like, you really can't explain love. Like,
it's hard
you
to
just
explain
gotta
love, though.
be.
It's
You
hard to
have to
explain
be
love.
in it, and you have to be ready for it. Like,
And you
because
gotta
it comes
fight
with
for
a
it, too.
lot. You
That's
do
right.
have to fight for it, for sure. Like, but that fight is great, because like right after that is like, I don't know, it's just like the most amazing thing ever. But like,
I fuck with it.
you go through your ups and downs, and like it becomes a beautiful thing.
So love for me is compromise. It's like you are you're willing to give up everything you feel and believe, in a sense, to also understand what the person that you love feels and believes. And I'm not only talking about like in your romantic relationship, I'm talking about in every relationship of love, because now with this being my healthiest relationship ever in my life, and I mean that in every aspect of every single relationship I have, you know, it's like,
Hold on. That's a beautiful thing to be able to say. I'm just be honest with you. Like like I've never heard nobody say that, and the fact that you can say that to yourself and feel that and believe that, that's very beautiful.
That shit is huge.
That's huge. Like for you to say that this is the healthiest relationship in my entire life. Like
Yeah, it's dope, it's dope.
far back from my mother, my father, my sister, my everything. Every relationship to now, that's love.
Yeah, it's dope.
Like that's love. That's love right there.
for real. No, it's dope. But I, with this being my healthiest relationship, I understand that love is compromise. And this healthy relationship made me look at every relationship I have in a perspective of like, am I feeding into my best friend enough? Am I feeding into my sister? Am I feeding into my mom? Am I feeding into my dad? Am I feeding into my brother? Like, this healthy relationship made me make all of my other relationships healthy too, because the romantic relationship I have made me understand that like every relationship in the sense is the same. It doesn't have to be romantic. Like, we don't gotta be kissing and touching. I mean, you know, you kiss your family as well, all that, but like different, but like,
Definitely different.
yeah, very different. But that is my word
Depending on
for
where
it.
you're at, I guess, right?
Depending on what you are as well. You know? But love is compromise to me, because I think, and she'll back me on that, like, you know, like it's
back me on anything,
compromise.
babe.
It's thank you, baby. It's compromise. It's I don't agree with what you're saying, and I don't care to hear what you're saying, but I have to sit down and listen, because I need this perspective, because I need to understand you and be able to love you properly. So it's compromise in every single relationship. And like I said, like this healthy relationship makes me listen to every relationship I have more, or look at it from like, okay, maybe I didn't listen enough. Okay, maybe I didn't ask you how your day was. As we were talking about, all of these important little things make such a big thing for a healthy love, you know? So it's like, love to me is compromise. Like you have to be willing to give up not everything you believe, but like most things you believe, you don't have to agree, but you have to listen and listen to understand and take and maybe change. Because like, I feel like love, like certain things you have to change about yourself. Like you can't say I love you and be like, oh well, but this is how I've been my whole life. You have to change because that person needs to be loved in their language. Like I've also learned like love languages. Like you can't love how you've been loving or how you were raised or how you were taught. If somebody says, this is how I love and I need you to love me like this, like you're supposed to compromise and change and love them how they need to be loved.
That was the biggest thing we learned.
As opposed to like,
our love
oh,
languages
well.
were different.
Yeah.
So we both had to learn how to love each other in our own love languages versus like just keep giving out the love that you expect or that you want to give because that's your love language. So it's like, I was always big on like acts of service for her and like gifts because that was my love language. And like, I had to learn to switch it because she loves it. Like we all love every single love language, but like,
yeah, we love all the love languages, but like,
I
think you should do every single love language in a relationship. But if a person specifies, I like acts of service, I like words of affirmation, I like, you know, like whatever they say.
Hers is words of affirmations, and I was
like,
just like, okay,
do
I have
it like
to
that.
learn, like, how
like reassure me, like make me
do
feel
that.
whatever. Like acts of service are great, but like I also want to have a deep conversation. I also want to be checked on when I'm like not okay, or if I don't seem like I'm normal, like check me.
All right. So I got a
No.
question, and if this is an offensive question, you don't have to answer it. I don't mean
no.
to be offensive, but if it is, then we could go to the next question. Do you think it's easier for y'all because y'all both women?
We're offended.
I'm offended. Do you think it make it just that much easier? Because let's say a guy, he grew up in a rough neighborhood or he grew up in a Caribbean neighborhood, his emotions is kind of like locked a little bit. You know, like just because of his upbringing, you know, that's a tougher battle than two women who are
I will agree with that.
Who are kind of more in tune with their emotions.
Then sync.
Do you think that makes y'all relationship just a tad bit easier?
No, because as I told you earlier about my brother is not going to be an average dude because like
But he has the luxury of being around you.
Exactly.
Not every guy has
Not every
luxury of
guy
having-
does.
We gotta
having
speak on like this moment, and I think that being in a relationship with a woman is also a lot more work too. Like this is the most work I've ever put in a relationship, and I was actually ready to do it because
Explain.
I care about.
You gotta explain a little bit.
So I haven't really ever been that emotionally available for people. I've never really saw myself wanting to do that because I wasn't given that in that relationship. Like I said about me pouring in and not getting that back. So it was just like,
Fuck blue flowers. I got you.
fuck blue flag.
I keep bringing it back. I got you.
That's the name of the episode.
Fuck blue flowers, right.
So, dealing with a woman and like, I was always used to dating guys who kind of weren't emotionally available or like ready. So like
Most men
she
aren't,
was
though.
giving
Like,
me a lot of
yeah.
emotions all the time, and I was like, whoa, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that like, and she was, you know, our very first argument, she was like, yo, I'm not a guy.
Yeah.
Like you talking to me like I'm a
Yeah.
nigga. I'm not a nigga. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh, emotional, you feel me?
Yeah, and I had to like, so it was
So
harder.
kind of does make it easier then, in a sense.
I can't. Well, I don't know. Like,
Well, I had layers that I had to like break through in order to like have a better communication
Yeah,
in
it's
that
not easy.
aspect. So no, it was, and then society doesn't really make it easier either. Like again, we both came from Caribbean households. Like being gay is not.
that's not even our norm.
The best-
Like, neither of us are supposed to be doing this.
We're not
Yeah.
no for real. Like we out here
we
like
just do what we do.
living
but, like,
vicariously.
That's not okay.
This is the word, like-
That's not okay.
Yeah.
That's not our upbringing. That's not okay in our upbringing. Like, not only are we
So we
West
don't do that
Indian,
here.
Not only are we
wants to be
Caribbean and
inside.
West Indian, like we also come from Christian households.
And my father's
So like,
an
this
Israelite.
is not it.
Jesus.
I grew up
Yeah.
Jehovah's.
Israelite.
I grew up Jehovah's
You hear
Witness.
that?
I grew up
So
Like,
like,
I grew up
nah.
Jehovah's Witness too.
For real? See, that's why we here, man.
Think about an Israelite man,
But you
and like
understand,
a gay
bro,
order.
like,
Like that
all
shit is
of
just
that.
not
All that thinking for yourself shit is
Hard?
crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
hard. Being with a man more, no. I
You
think
feel like
it's
it's harder than being with a woman?
I've never dated a man.
You never dated a man?
I
I
when I was
genuinely
young,
wanted to ask that.
when I was young, like I had little boyfriends, like all
Yeah.
that bullshit. But like I've never.
bullshit.
For some reason, this is ass. I don't know what it is. This shit is trash.
It's bullshit. It don't count.
Seriously, that's what the world told me. That's what the world told me I was supposed to be doing. You feel me? But like,
It's ass. Don't count.
it count. It don't count. Not for me. Not for my story. But I did that little bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing around. but like, I don't even date men. But I always have this conversation with her. This might be a very like sensitive topic, but women might disagree. But I always say, because of like even what you guys were saying, like it is hard for men to exist because like you guys are not allowed to think for yourselves. Like women, like we're allowed to be emotional, we're allowed to think how we want. We might not get paid the same and like etc. But also like I can go to work. I'm a bartender full time. I can go to work and be like, I can say to my bar back or the males like, I got cramps today. I'm not.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. They're going to
And
get
it's-
my stuff.
and it's an excuse-
they're gonna do
it's
it.
an excuse for-
You men are not allowed to come to any single day with an excuse. It's like
Yeah,
you're a man,
yeah.
nigga. You a
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah,
What's wrong with you
yeah,
today?
yeah. Facts.
Okay, your muscles hurt. You're a man.
Babe, why would you bring up cramps?
Da-da-da.
That's really a real life issue.
No, but that's
But
true.
that's what I'm
No,
saying.
that's true, that's
But
true,
it's a real
that
life.
shit hurts. No, I don't want to do
Hold on,
that.
hold on, hold on.
Comparably, sorry.
And that
Comparably.
shit happens every
But wait,
single
babe,
month for a week.
But babe, but that was my point in bringing up cramps because men every day deal with that in their chest and their heart, but they're never allowed to like have a moment to say, I need
I
this.
need a week.
I
I need
need
a
5
week.
days. I need 4 days.
I need a week to take off. I need a week to feel vulnerable
I feel
or
like,
weak.
and I said that specifically because when I go to work with cramps, my male coworkers be like, because you know me, I dress how I dress, but I'm not a woman that promotes like I'm a man. I'm a
Yes,
woman.
yes.
And everyone knows I'm a woman. My acronym is GIMMICK, girl in male clothes. Like I'm a woman, very much a woman in male clothes. But the men around me know who I am and they respect it. So when I have cramps, I'm not in a good mood, and I say like, yo, I have cramps, bro. I'm not in the mood. They're gonna go get my ice. They're gonna make me coffee. They're going to cater to me in a sense because that's what men do in a sense. And that is what men feel their job is. But like,
Right.
I don't feel like men ever get from women or anybody in the world, like forget women or other men, as we were talking about, break of like, yo, you know what, bro? You need to chill today.
Facts.
You had a long week.
Facts.
You're not doing good. Like, men don't ever get that.
It's immediately.
I think it depends on where they are.
wait.
Because I've definitely, at my job, because I'm a bartender too, and I have a busser that he'll come in and he'll say, I'm not really feeling it today. And like,
Here, bitch.
Damn, how you
Here,
get
bitch. Here, bitch.
Oh, here, bitch.
Here, bitch.
I'm not really feeling it today. I'd be like, it's okay, don't worry. Like,
here, bitch.
I'm like, go outside, go smoke, go take your second or whatever. And then
But
when
me
you
too.
able to come back,
but that's
come
us.
do it.
But that's us personally. Not every woman does that.
Yeah.
But the reason why they do it for you is because you do it for them too.
I can't agree.
I think so.
I think
Because they always tell. Listen,
Nah, babe.
these guys always
Babe, we
like,
disagreeing on that, babe.
I
No.
love her. Like, she's such a good person. Like, she always does more for me on my shift than anybody else.
Yeah,
like, if
me
we speaking
too.
specifically on
But
your
it's
job.
also
But
like,
that's what you give.
So, like-
but
so,
like,
like-
you don't.
Exactly.
But
You
the
give
woman,
what you get,
But if I'm being
and
honest
vice
with you,
versa.
but I'm being honest with you, but a woman that doesn't do that doesn't deserve it. But if that same busser or barback dealt with me that day, and I had cramps, and the next girl comes the next day that doesn't treat them right and goes, I have cramps. I'm not feeling well. I'm da-da-da. No matter how they've been the whole
Yeah, no
week,
matter how-
they're
yes,
going to remember.
yes.
Justina
Yes.
is good to me.
Yes.
But Justina had cramps. Cramps makes them different in
Yes.
emotion.
Correct. Yes.
They're going to give the grace.
Yes.
They should. It does make you different in
I
emotion.
agree.
We do need to get that grade.
But that's my point. But men don't get that
Wait.
ever. Men
So
don't get
I can-
cramps or anything
yes,
else.
they don't get it. They don't get
I
cramps.
can take that
So
a
what's
step
our
further.
excuse?
Hold on, wait. I can take that a step
That's what
further.
I'm, but babe,
When
that's
you're-
my,
when
but
you're not
wait,
feeling
pause,
well-
babe. Do you
Yeah.
understand my point? I'm saying that men have nothing to say, I need today. I need to be okay today.
So-
I'm not okay.
What she's
We-
saying
So
is-
you're saying, like, if you're not feeling well, you would just say, I have cramps to stop
and
everything.
everybody,
hold on, wait,
and
wait,
everybody
wait. Hold on,
respects.
hold
If
on,
I'm
wait.
at work,
Versus actually just saying how you really feel.
Her point is
no,
Her
that's
point
not what I'm
is
saying. I'm saying I have the
something-
grace. Even if I don't have cramps, it's so real, and I'm not taking anything from women because we go through a lot of shit as
Right.
well
Facts.
that the world
Right.
doesn't acknowledge, that men don't acknowledge.
Facts. Right.
So I'm not taking away from women at all.
Facts.
But I'm also saying if I don't have my period and I'm upset today, I can also I have cramps today. Get the
Yes.
fuck out of my face.
Hold on,
And you
wait,
know what
look,
everybody's gonna
look,
say?
look,
When they
look,
gonna ask me to see my
hold on,
pad, I'm
look,
like, nigga, fuck you mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're crutching on that. I get that.
Hold on, let me say something.
You can.
Hold on. let me
Okay, say
Yeah,
it.
bro.
Her point is having a legitimate excuse, like
That we can really use.
not a half-ass excuse where nigga you
Yeah.
a legitimate reason for you to stop.
And that's my only reason.
Legitimate.
We can really say that.
I don't have to explain. I don't have to show you. I don't have to make proof. This is a legitimate
And if you do
reason
ask
you
me
to
for proof, I
stop.
would say you sexually harassed me.
Yes.
What? And my point is, what can a man
I
say
get
for
that.
me to say?
I get
Here's
that.
your 5 hours, bro.
I get
My
that.
bad.
Sometimes, okay, so I hope that like I said, like I have somebody just like that will always tell me like they're not. And I love that he's able to communicate. Because this is what we've been talking about, right? We want guys to be able to say that they are not okay.
Yeah, but he's talking that baby shit. Get out of here. with that.
But we not talking about a bitch ass nigga.
So
we're not
people-
talking about a bitch. We're not talking about a bitch.
So
we talking about
I
men.
love that I have somebody that's able to communicate and let me know at all times that he is just not okay whenever he's not okay,
They
right?
say you know who you are.
Softer than wet bread, son. The fuck?
So with that being said, like we're all in a space now. Like I don't know. I guess yes, we do have a legitimate excuse, but I've never never said like I have it when I don't,
Nah, me
just
neither,
to
me
get
neither.
something out of
But
somebody.
you could though.
Yeah, but I
I
said,
know that I
was
could,
my
but I
point.
wouldn't
You
do
could,
that.
though. It's in your back pocket,
but
though.
just
It's
so
in your
you
back
know,
pocket, though.
Yeah,
with
wouldn't
me
do
saying
that.
it, I would not say it, but I'm going to
That's you
say
having integrity
on my
there.
worst day, if I wanted to and I don't want to
You
be
can.
bothered,
I
I
can
would
just say I'm
yo.
not okay, just like everyone around me has
But-
been able to say that they're not
babe,
okay.
but babe,
Yeah,
as women, let's circle back. I'm sorry, before
Okay,
you
rock.
go, babe. If we say that, we also know that's not going to be as respected because that's the same thing as a nigga saying it. No one cares if you're not okay. Do your job.
Mm-hmm.
But if I say I have cramps, you cannot tell me to do it. I can't. I physically cannot. So I can give that excuse when I want to.
They don't say to your job. They be like, go home.
on this day.
No,
and
wait.
I will.
They be like, go home.
And that's what you want.
You look yourself. You're not as bright and as vibrant as you usually are. Like, go
why
ahead
are you
and take.
saying like go home is a bad thing?
It's
That's
not.
what I'm
It's a great
saying.
thing.
I love to go home.
Take
It's
the
great.
day off.
It's great. They be like, go
Take the day
home.
off.
They don't say, if I say I'm not okay and they see it in my eyes, they see it in my face, they see it in the way that I move and like my actions, that I am not my best self, they would literally be like, girl, take.
And I'm telling you,
And
And I said, I gladly would.
But that's my point. That was the point of me bringing this up.
Never
That doesn't happen for men.
You ever say I'm not okay?
No, but babe,
And what happened?
figure it out for 5 minutes and come back.
But babe, that was my
Sorry.
point. I'm not gonna lie. But that was my point.
And come back.
But that was my
Like,
point in this subject.
what were you gonna say
I don't
then?
feel like women are less, but I don't feel like men get any leeway.
Okay.
Because we will call them a bitch. Like, oh, you sad today, nigga? Nigga, I get cramps every month. Fuck are you talking about? Like, there's
I've
no
heard that
grace.
shit before.
And
It's real.
I've only
It's
think
real.
this way, as I mentioned, like, because I have a brother now. So I'm like, damn, the world is never gonna be easy on you. Like, he's a black man.
Yeah,
So
yes.
here's where it is, right? When you're emotionally fucked up, let's say for instance something really bothered you, there's a death in the family, or just essentially like just you're not feeling right. You know how your body will start bothering you? Like you're lethargic, you know, you might hurt when you get up, maybe your lower back hurt a little bit, right?
He go hard.
Men-
You're lethargic.
Vocabulary is crazy. Men deal with that consistently because we don't get the opportunity to vent out our feelings all the time or sit there and deal with some of the shit that we have to do because as a man, you don't get an option. Shut the fuck up and do what you have
Stop
to
being
do.
a bitch, nigga.
Stop being a bitch, right? You get stuck in those ways, right? And even as we grow and we get older and we have a better understanding of our emotions, become a little bit more emotionally intelligent, it doesn't stop the ways that you've already been processing. There's days where some men, even me, I wake up and I'm like, yo, I'm not for the shits today, bro. I'm not for no one's mouth. I'm not for nothing, right? And I don't have a choice but to get the fuck up,
And
not
work.
be a bitch, look myself in the mirror, stop
Work.
being a bitch, and go start my day, right? And we don't get that opportunity to go in and say, my lower back hurts because I'm just dealing with a lot of stress, and it's just becoming a little bit too much for me, and I might need a mental break.
Yeah.
What they're gonna tell me is, it sounds like you don't want this job, pussy.
No,
either do your job or shut the fuck up.
That's hard.
That's true, that's
That's my
true.
point, though. Like, I
I
just
guess,
don't feel like
I
men
guess
have
it
any
might be a
leeway
case by
from the
case
world.
for me because, like, I don't know, like, I literally have dealt with like real life shit, like real life experiences, real life shit, and had to go to work the next day because they called me and they were like, "You've been out for this amount of days, and we need you back because we have X, Y, and Z going on." Like, jobs itself care about their job more than they care about the people, whether you're a woman or a man. So, like, as far as what y'all saying, like getting more leeway as a woman, I worked in like the fashion industry. I've worked in corporate America in like marketing. I worked in PR. I've done all of these things, and I've never actually gotten that grace that you guys have been talking that women get. Because I have to get that shit done too. And sometimes I have to go even harder than my male correspondents because they kind of get, like in corporate America, they already up at a certain level and I need to get to that. And so I'm over here chasing this and chasing that and trying to get this stature that I'm not giving this grace that people are talking about, that like women get. And I could just say I have cramps, I'm not coming in, or I have cramps, and they give me that moment. I get this moment now because I'm not working in corporate America, and I can say that even though I haven't, like, but like that's just the work ethic that I have in myself. And it's like, maybe the work ethic I have in myself tells me when I wake up and I look in the mirror, I was like, I can't be no bitch today. I gotta go get this shit.
I got one.
I gotta get to this money. I gotta get to this bag.
But I have to say,
as a woman, I'm getting to this motherfucking bag.
But
so I don't give a fuck. You feel me?
Let's separate women and men. We're also black women. So that's a whole different ballgame.
So I got you.
Like,
I got
we
you
don't
here.
have that.
She's absolutely right. But I've gotten the pleasure. I'm gonna
to white people.
I gotta say that.
I'm not seeing that.
I can explain this to you, right? So for me, I'm not gonna say I was blessed to because I don't feel it was a blessing, but I've worked in middle and upper management in corporate America, right? Surprisingly, with the way that I speak. So, right? You've seen how I talk. I've seen those leeways be given to women because I've had to give them. I've had to schedule accordingly because I heard that I get a heavy flow and here's my doctor's note for it. And I'm 100% understanding because I have daughters. So I know what the vibe is. I love that you're
100% understanding because you have daughters. I work in corporate America and one of my friends did that. I've never done it and they've done that. And they said, why don't you just get on birth control? So that's great that you're able to say, take a moment.
Yeah, you go to HR with that. That's not even a question, though.
That's great that you're able to give that moment because you have a child.
Because that's literally illegal.
Yes.
Like, you cannot tell me what to do with my body.
You can't tell me what to do.
That sounds like the stupidest shit ever. Did the person go to HR? Baby, did the person go to HR?
No.
Then that's their problem.
Because
you cannot say that to somebody.
He can advocate this.
That's
I
crazy.
am for the employees. That's the type of manager I've always been
That's
in every
insane.
level I've been in, right? So I tell you how to manage HR. I tell you how to manage all your situations. How do you take your time off? Your time off is yours to take and should never be used in a way to make you feel some type of way. So if you need your full time off, you take it off. This is how you go about it, and these are the things that you say. I've always done that because I remember when I was in that spot, it wasn't done for me, right? So I had to run this ship blind. I will not allow anyone else to run their ship blind. I always give them all the fucking routes that they need to go. But when it comes down to it, when one of the dudes would sit there and I would have a conversation about why is it that you're acting like this or like that, if you don't have, like, for instance, like a bereavement, someone passed away, you get no leeways. It just seems like he doesn't want to work.
That's true.
It just seems like he's really not with it. So not taking into
Did you
account the nuances.
legitimately ask him? Because you're
excuse.
such a great manager. Like, you were a great manager,
Yeah, that's
right?
great.
And like, you were able to like give this moment
know if you hire
in
him.
time for people knowing that they're going through just shit, everyday shit. Did you also extend that grace to the guys?
But it has to be legitimate.
The extent that I can.
You can make it legitimate.
That's what he just said. He said that
So
he didn't. Like,
I
naturally.
don't have, like, so if one of my female employees would come up and say, hey, listen, I'm having an issue. It's really bad. I was like, I don't need detail. I know what to say for you. If they ask for anything, make sure that when you go for your next appointment.
Are you hiring?
Not right now. Right? When you go for your next appointment, have your doctor write out, this is what it is, so that if you ever need to take this time off, it'll never be used against you and it won't take away from your PTO. Right? I automatically know how to handle these situations, but for a man, I have nothing unless there's a real
'Cause
fucking
it comes
issue
to
that I have to sit here
legitimately,
and
like,
I have to be like, did anyone die in the family? Like, can you find a distant
like,
relative?
give me something. Give
Like
me
anyone.
something that I could
Find an obituary and say that was your
But
cousin.
that was my point. It's like men have to find a reason for me to not be okay
Because I'm
today.
about to go kill somebody now. I'm about to go kill somebody to make
and
it seem
before-
like.
Don't kill nobody.
Before anything else, I'm a woman. Like before being black, before being anything, I am a woman. So
black
like
first.
I'm a woman before I'm even black because I was born. Like I got my little color, but I'm a woman.
No, you-
So like these
sis.
emotional imbalances, my monthly like, you know, like my hormonal imbalance, like it's real and I feel it. But like I am really like, as I said, like my brother probably like made me be like, yo, like men go through it too. Like it's real shit. And the world doesn't acknowledge it because we as women experience so much and like we endure as well and we hold children and we do all of these things, but like we do so much that I feel the world lets men fall under, you know? It's like, and then men are not good to the world.
Don't get me wrong. I agree
You
with
disagree
you.
with that? Do you disagree with what she said?
That men fall under the world.
They just fall
I
under
think
the
this is a
radar of,
man's
like,
world. I think that,
I don't think it's a man.
not
It
to
is.
quote Marvin Gaye, this is a man's world.
It's a white world. Sorry, it's a white world.
man's world.
I don't think it's a man's world.
It's a white
It's
world.
a man's
It's
world.
not a man's world.
But
It's
it
a
wouldn't
white
be
man world.
nothing without a woman or girl.
Hold on.
Okay?
Hold
So,
on.
Hold on.
there's
I don't think it's a
that.
man's world.
So how is it a man's world if it's nothing without a girl? That don't make sense.
It's not a man's world.
That's not-
I don't
it's-
agree.
Like you can't say both.
Men are hierarchies. Like,
To whom?
So you said
in
it.
social
You said it.
classes and status.
Men do
Are
everything
there
for
hierarchies
women.
to you?
In social classes and status, that's what I'm saying.
Men do most of the things that they do for women.
Are men
Because
hierarchy?
there's
Is
some-
a
do it
man
for their
hierarchy
power
to you?
and their continuing fucking worth for themselves.
A man
They don't
was
do it for
created
women.
before
That's
women.
the
That's
craziest
in the
thing in the
Bible.
world.
That's not-
Yes. It's a man hierarchy
a
too.
successful
Yes.
CEO man gives 2 fucks about his wife. That's why he's able to leave her and continue fucking other broads and
Or
having side
have
bitches.
multiple wives.
Or have multiple
That's
wives.
still women though.
No.
That's still
But
doing it
they're
for women.
interchangeable.
No,
Multiple
you're
women
doing-
now.
Hold on, wait.
But that's still doing it for women.
It's not, because that would be one specific woman. If I could change them out, that's not a big deal. It's like light bulbs. Why
That's
the fuck do I
still-
care?
I
about
agree.
shorty?
Right.
It's
If I have
changing
multiple
out.
women, it's ain't
Right.
shit for me.
I never said that men do things for one woman. I said men do things for women.
It's the same
Yeah.
way that they do things for money.
Yeah.
At that point, women and money are the exact same thing. They're an item. They're not actually something that's
Men
going to
are
make you
hunters
better.
naturally. Like,
But
that's why
we're over
you
that
guys,
already. I
yeah.
don't hunt shit. What the fuck? What did I hunt? A good deal with
That's
fucking
what I said.
poopers?
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
well,
what the fuck?
Okay.
But like you were saying that you will holler at one girl in the street and that's a hunt.
Oh, no,
you
that's
don't even
not-
realize.
I asked them,
Like you holler at one
"What
girl in
do
the
you do on
street, get
Valentine's?"
shut
That's
down.
not good.
That's-
Yo,
That's a hunt. What
how
do
you
you
feel
want
about
to
blue
hunt?
flowers? All right, blue roses. What are your thoughts?
Don't get no blue roses, y'all. Y'all honey here. No blue
No
roses.
blue
Not
roses,
it.
no roses.
So when you said it, you were right. Right? It starts off with white men at the top of the
White man
hierarchy.
is it. White man
But
is it.
Me and him benefit from one part of that white men. The men part.
If that.
Right.
Right? So now I get some of that privilege that comes along with being a man.
Right.
Right? Why? The
No.
system was built for you. But there's negatives.
agree
Hold on, wait.
at all.
I got you. There's negatives to that.
You haven't really spoken, so I want to hear
Nah,
your
yeah,
point
yeah,
as well.
for-
There's,
You know,
there's,
you know.
there's negatives to the situation and the way it was built, right? Now, when it comes to, for instance, if I want my kids in a court hearing because women are seen as the better caretakers for children, even if she's not, she's predominantly going to get custody of those children. And most men don't even go for it, even though if you do, you have a better chance of being able to get your kids. But because they already have this mindset, it's less likely that they actually do it, and women wind up with the kids. Why? Because the system was built out that women do this job, men do this one. So if you know that you
Yes.
could do it better than the woman, you're not going to be given that chance because the system already fucked you. That's why when
And vice
people say
versa.
equality is huge, it should be equality of everyone. Everyone should be on the same page, not one over the other or one sitting here wanting to supersede the other. We should just be rocking out at the same. That's it. You know what I mean? That, at least that's how I see it, because that's how it makes sense.
I see, because
5
that's
to
how
5.
it makes sense.
We almost done.
I mean, yeah.
This is a great episode. I appreciate y'all for coming. We had some interesting conversations, some great conversations.
We did.
Hopefully, we can invite y'all back again.
Sure.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having us. I do want to hear your opinion on the topic, though.
I mean,
All professionals should decide. What do you have to say about the topic?
I mean, it was a very broad topic. Like, I don't know.
Women give birth.
Amen.
They won. That's it. It's over.
Amen. You shit me? Women do give birth. But I do want to hear your opinion, though. Like,
You got
Like
10
on
seconds.
what though? On what though? Like, it was a
what we
lot.
were just
it was
talking
a
about,
lot-
the last topic. Whatever you
it was a
want. What is
lot
on your
going on.
mind?
There's a
What
lot
is on your
going on.
mind?
That gift you about to get your girl.
Yeah. What you about to ask me?
No, I'm definitely gonna ask her happy Valentine's. I'm definitely gonna ask her if she want Valentine's.
Yeah, you gotta ask her, bro.
No, I'm asking.
I'm gonna send you my flower spot.
No, that's cool. I can figure it out.
He got the
I can figure it out. It's just, you know.
All right, y'all. So
love
that's
you, son.
it. End the story. Yo, like, subscribe, all the normal shit I say. I'm not gonna say now because you heard it before. Yo, check us out on the next one. Peace.
But off camera, I do want your opinion back.
I mean, I'm a little tipsy. I don't.